How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fantastic at-home table read. I'm excited for this one. This is one of my guilty pleasure movies when I was growing up. BASEketball, the David Zucker directed and Trey Parker and Matt Stone starring. I have a ton of fun with this movie. This script is actually an early draft, so we're going to see how it differs from the movie a little bit. But let's just get right into it. Let's start introducing ourselves.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I will be your scene description this afternoon, evening, day.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be Coop.
Hello, I'm four-time Quarantine Theater Award winner Jeremy Weinreich. I'll be playing Remer.
Why, hello there. I'm Travis, and I'll be Squeak. I'll be squeaking when it's ready.
I'm George, and I'll be Baxter Kane.
I'm Angie, and I don't remember the name of my character.
Jenna.
Hey.
Jenna Reed.
Hello, I'm Mary. You will see me later, and I am Yvette. Yvette.
I'm Erik. I'll be Al Michaels.
And I'm Jen, and I'll be Bob Costas.
All right, well, Anne, take us away.
BASEketball, based on a true story, written by David Zucker, Robert Locash, Louis Friedman, and Jeff Wright. Fade in. Interior. Dodger Stadium night. 1988. World Series. Play as camera pans to the raucous crowd.
4-3. A's. 2 out, 9th inning, 3 and 2 on Gibson. Davis leads off from second. Eckers winds the pitch.
Camera settles on a 10-year-old boy wearing a baseball cap and a warm-up jacket with the name Cooper on it. Watching the game in wide-eyed wonder, off-screen we hear the crack of the bats.
High fly ball in the right field. She's gone.
I love your Vin Scully. The crowd goes crazy as the baseball sails into the stands. A guy with the mitt leaps up to catch it. Twing! The ball bounces off his forehead. It ricochets off a vendor's tray, spilling about a dozen beers. People are driving through the frame trying to catch it. The ball bounds over the outstretched fingers of several fans, finally landing in the mitt of a young boy. The boy's father throws his arms around him.
Good catch, Joe.
A look of awe on his face. The boy watches as Kirk Gibson trot around the bases, pumping his fist. He begins to pump his fist in emulation as we fade to black. We hear a roar of a crowd, and then the opening strains of Aaron Copland's heroic fanfare for the common man.
There was a time in America when contests of athletic prowess served as a metaphor for the nobility of man.
Fade up on a series of clips of legendary moments in sports. Babe Ruth calling a shot. Franco Harris's immaculate reception. The final moments of the Ali Foreman rumble in the jungle. And we see a section of a crowd completely awed by what they have witnessed.
Historic moments forged by the love of the game and the purity of the sport galvanized an entire nation and celebrated the human potential to transcend the ordinary in achieving true excellence.
Reggie Jackson's 3 World Series home runs, Joe Namath's guaranteed Super Bowl, Bart Starr's quarterback sneak, and the Ice Bowl. The joyous crowd roars with unbridled enthusiasm.
But as time passed and the country neared the millennium, something went awry. What was once a shining symbol of society's highest values had somehow degenerated into a representation of selfishness, outlandish behavior, and the full catalog of man's baser instincts.
Interior football stadium day, a sparse crowd on hand. The ball snapped. Quarterback quickly completes a 2-yard pass into the end zone.
In football, the poetry of the game was lost in the vulgar celebrations that followed every play.
The receiver spikes the ball, tears off his helmet, starts a celebration dance. He's joined by two teammates. They lock elbows and begin Irish folk dance. Now the entire team mounts the end zone stage to perform a full-blown choreographed river dance. Whistles blow. A ref throws a flag.
10-yard penalty. Derivative choreography.
Interior baseball stadium day on the mound. A pitcher checks the sign, throws to first.
Sports were not only ridiculous, they were becoming boring.
The pitcher shrugs off a sign, throws to first.
And another throw to first.
Pitcher takes the return throw, wipes his forehead, adjusts his crotch. Yeah. Pulls on his underwear. Okay. Throws over to first.
The seventh inning stretch became the seventh inning wake-up call.
Oh, excuse me. Angle, grandstand, over the loudspeaker, a bugle plays reveille. Fans are jarred awake. Some start singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Many of them have brought along sleeping masks, neck pillows, and blankets. Roaming vendors hawk Starbucks and no-dos.
And coffee replaced beer as the top-selling concession beverage.
Pardon me. Angle, fans, and bleachers. Their backs turned, intent on something beyond the field.
Another toss over to... Hey, Kurt! There seems to be some commotion out on the left. Everyone appears to be staring up at... Oh, I know what it is. The scoreboard was just redone. They're watching the paint dry. Right! And here comes Joe Torre.
The manager motions to the bullpen. The pitcher hands over the ball, walks off the mound, nursing his tired arm. Interior press conference day. On the dates, the football player holds up a Packers jersey. He fields questions from a throng of reporters.
Players sold their services to the highest bidder, much like the hired guns of the Old West.
And after playing for New England, San Diego, Houston, St. Louis, a year for the Toronto Argonauts, plus 1 season as a greeter at the Desert Inn, I'm happy to commit to this no-trade, multi-year, $40 million contract with its deferred bonuses and no-fault escape clause. It's always been my fondest dream to play here in the fine city of Miami.
Green Bay.
Whatever, Green Bay. Shit, man, it gets cold up there.
Here.
Soon it was commonplace for entire teams to change cities in search of greater profits.
Angle, United States map. As the narrator speaks, a pathway of light moves city to city.
The Minnesota Lakers moved to Los Angeles, where there are no lakes. The Oilers moved to Tennessee, where there's no oil. The Jazz moved to Salt Lake City, where they don't allow music. And the Oakland Raiders moved to LA, just for the hell of it. The Braves left Boston to make a new home in Milwaukee. Seattle got a new team called the Pilots. When the Braves moved to Atlanta, the Pilots moved to Milwaukee and became the Brewers.
The map has become almost obliterated with lights.
The Baltimore Colts moved to Indianapolis. Then the Browns left Cleveland to move to Baltimore. But Cleveland kept the name, so the Browns became the Ravens. The St. Louis Cardinals moved to Phoenix. Then the LA Rams left to become the St. Louis Rams. The Raiders then moved back to Oakland, leaving Los Angeles with no football team. The only saving grace was no one seemed to notice.
Exterior, Chicago, day. Stock footage of United Airlines logo on top of the United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls.
The profit motive continued to lead to the corporate takeover of sports. Even the stadiums and arenas became nothing more than billboards to promote commercial products.
Montage of angles. The Great Western Forum in Los Angeles, Coors Field in Denver, Preparation H Center Stadium, Maxi Tampon Center. The Maxi Tampon blimp flies over the arena, ironically trailing its landing rope.
Continued expansion diluted the talent pool, forcing owners to recruit heavily from prisons, mental institutions, and Texas.
Exterior baseball stadium day. A bench clearing brawl in progress. Interior baseball arena night. A huge fracas on the court. Even the mascots are fighting. Exterior football field day. A slugfest on the 40. Referees attempting to break it up. Interior hockey rink day. Vicious hand-to-hand combat. The puzzled referee looks from the melee to the puck still in his hand.
Far from decrying it, professional sports used violence as a selling point.
A slick professional sports ad, crashing high-tech graphics, thundering sound effects, raucous in-your-face music.
Pro sports this fall, NFL Sunday. Catch the violence.
Catch the violence. I like that. Film bites of the football players slamming each other into goalposts. A QB races out of bounds. He's slammed by a lineman who picks him up, pile drives him into the ground.
NBA basketball. Feel the pain.
Basketball players with chains and pipes. It's a gang fight beneath the basket. One player tries to force the ball down another player's throat.
Major League Baseball. You got a problem with murder.
A rapid succession of baseball players being clonked in the helmet by pitches.
NFL hockey. License to kill.
Hockey players being slashed with sticks, opening gashes on their chests and faces. A severed head rolls across the ice.
Incredibly, only one sport endured as an island of non-violence.
Interior boxing arena night. Two fighters are lumped together in an endless clinch.
Except for that one incident in mid-1997.
Angle, horrified faces in the first row. Not 2 feet in front of them, a bloody ear falls to the canvas, followed by an earring rolling through frame. Interior living room day. 3 middle-aged guys watching TV with wide, vacant eyes.
To feed the insatiable appetite of the thousands of cable channels, sports broadcasts included tennis, bowling, and billiards. Some people even watched golf.
The horror. Reversed reveal. The guys are staring at a golf match. Fuzzy Zoller is endlessly lining up a putt.
To shore up declining attendance, the major sports introduced interleague play. But when that novelty wore off, they were forced to try newer ideas.
Interior baseball stadium day. The pitcher fires a pitch towards home where the football player in full uniform swings and rips the ball into the outfield. Center fielder drifts back, a quarterback covering him. He reaches up to catch the ball. He's instantly creamed by the cornerback. Ball squirts away. Ump throws a flag on the play.
Enter sports play brought the crowds back, but only for a while.
A football halfback breaks from third. 2 giant linemen appear out of nowhere to block him. The catcher gets the ball and is flattened. The ump makes the touchdown signal. A halfback launches into the celebration dance. The crowd is puzzled as they watch the catcher being loaded onto a stretcher.
But just when things looked bleakest.
Angle, a full-page newspaper ad. Mick Jagger and the cadaver-like Stones, all in wheelchairs with a big banner. The Rolling Stones. Where's the rail? Tour.
Something wonderful happened.
Interior suburban house day. Typical college decor. Borrowed furniture. Sports posters. A pyramid of beer cans stacked in the corner. Joseph, Coop, Cooper, a likable 20-something lug, sits in a white recliner watching a boring football game on a big screen TV.
Is it just me or is this shit weak?
He drains the last of his beer, widened to reveal a curly-haired, bespectacled Doug Remer, same age, sits on a well-worn couch, also drinking beer.
The weakest.
The phone rings. The answering machine clicks on.
Hey, you can hang it with the tone. Beep.
Coop, this is Barry down at Turbo Burger. Your shift started 20 minutes ago. This is the last straw. I've had to put the grill boy on the frickin' drive-thru. I can't even say my words right. Damn.
In the background, sorry, why am I doing that accent? We hear a string of some indecipherable foreign gibberish on the speaker box. Then a voice says, "What? Coop jumps up quickly and starts throwing on his shoes.
There's 8 cars backed up, and not one of them knows what the hell he's talking about. You're fired.
Click. A burst of dial tone, then silence. Coop flops back onto the recliner.
Dude, you lost our job. How are we gonna eat?
How about you get a job?
A perspective zoom into Remer's panicked face.
Me? I had one last year. You get a job.
A perspective zoom into Coop's panicked face. A beat. Coop picks up an empty beer can, crumples it.
How about you shoot for it?
He tosses the can at an algae-infested aquarium. Splash.
First miss?
Remer nods, lobs a can. It bounces off a styrofoam food container, plops into the fish tank.
No good.
What are you talking about? It went in.
Bounced in.
Ground rule double.
Exterior Coop's house day. An exterminator truck sits at the curb. The house has been tented. Only the basketball hoop mounted above the garage is exposed. The mossy aquarium, now loaded with crumpled cans, sits on the rim. Coop heaves one end from the street, raises his arms in triumph.
Home run!
Suddenly, the top-heavy fish tank tumbles off the rim, shatters on the driveway. The guys are crestfallen. Remer gets sight of a couple guys playing basketball in the driveway across the street.
Hey, I've got an idea.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah, maybe we can borrow their car and go buy another aquarium.
Coop shakes his head.
No.
He pulls the ball out of the planter. Kenny, Squeak, Scolari, is a diminutive, officious guy wearing the uniform and badge of the gas company, approaches, clipboard in hand.
Joseph R. Cooper?
Cut the crap, Squeak. You know who I am.
Gentlemen, this form authorizes me to enter onto your property and then...
Yeah, I know. Terminate services forthwith with all delinquent payments that have been generated. Yeah.
What?
He's here to shut off the gas.
Gentlemen, is your canteen locked up and or safely secured within your residence?
Our canteen?
I believe he meant his canine, and Coop and Remer
Oh,
roll
yeah,
their
and the
eyes.
canine.
Yeah, actually, he's at the vet having his claws removed.
Then, if you'll excuse me...
Dude, does it just suck being you?
Squeak gives him a look, heads for the backyard gate. Coop and Remer go back to playing. Coop shoots a baseline shot from atop a step 8 feet away.
What the hell was that?
See, a bunt. Remember, it scores the guy from third.
Angle, gate. Squeak pushes it open, steps into the backyard. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he's attacked by a huge Rottweiler. Angle on Coop and Remer, casually shooting the ball despite the vicious growling and terrified screaming coming from the backyard.
Bad dog, ah!
In the background, a shoe flies over the fence, then a hat and a bow tie. The gate flies open and Squeak dives out from the backyard. The dog continues to growl viciously. Squeak picks himself up, marches towards Coop and Remer, his clothes torn and flapping, hysterical.
You lied to me. Again.
Oh, I guess his vet appointment is tomorrow.
Yeah, we took the cat in today. It's an honest mistake, Squeak.
My name's not Squeak, it's Kenny.
All right, Kenny. Here, take a shot.
I don't want to take a shot. I want to turn off your gas.
Coop pops a beer, hands it to Squeak.
Okay, but first have a beer. There's no regulation against that, is there?
All right, but I'm not playing.
Smash cut to exterior Cooper's house. Another day. Empty beer cans scattered around. Remer and Squeak stand under the basket. Coop shoot. Makes it. Squeak retrieves. Tosses the ball to Remer.
That was a single?
Right. And now if Remer misses, the double play is on.
Remer shoots. The ball bounces off the rim.
Now tip it in.
Squeak leaps, awkwardly backhands the ball into the basket, disappears out of frame. Angled on Squeak, plummets into the bunch of garbage cans. A huge clatter. He lands upside down in one, just his butt sticking out.
Squeak, once the board is removed from your ass, you're not such a bad guy.
Yeah, you're just merely a gigantic foreskin.
Exterior Coop's house, another day. Afternoon, golden time. Shooting areas are all marked on the driveway in chalk. Cradling beers, Coop, Remer, and Squeak play against another team. Neighbors have gathered to watch. A car pulls to the curb. Barry, face full of zits, wearing a fast food uniform and paper hat, gets out, approaches Coop.
Barry?
Hey, Coop. Listen, I came over to give you another chance to get your job back.
Coop shoots. Swish! The neighbor's chair. Barry looks around.
Hey, what's this game? What the fuck my voice is doing?
Smash cut to exterior Coop's house, another day. A fairly large crowd watches Coop and the guys play Barry. 2 other pimply faced employees in their restaurant uniforms. A party atmosphere. Chairs have been set up for the gathering crowd. Regulation bases have appeared. Interior Coop's house day. Remer leads Squeak down the hall.
Dude, I can't believe those asswipes fired you for not turning off your gas for 6 weeks. By the way, here's some sterno to cook your dinner tonight, and I want a flashlight if you want to read.
They enter an empty room.
Here's the room. You can camp out here for a while.
Remer exits. Squeak looks around, opens the window, sighs happily. Suddenly, the Rottweiler leaps through the window. Squeak screams as the dog attacks him. Angle on the living room. Coop stitching white leather panels together with a red lacing. Nearby his recliner chair is missing huge chunks of upholstery. In the background, Squeak races by, chased by the dog. Exterior Coop's house day. Makeshift bleachers have been put on the lawn but are packed. Scores of people overflow the yard, spilling into the closed-off street. Fans are hanging from the trees, sitting on the roofs of nearby houses. Coop and the guys playing, 3 other guys in makeshift uniforms. Coop shooting the ball he made, regulation-size basketball, white with red stitching on the seams. Looks like a giant baseball, except for the bold letters reading, Lazy Boy. Page, sorry. He shoots a home run, wins the game! He and Remer exchange high fives. Squeak joins the celebration, trophies thrust through their hands, cameras flash as they pose together, proudly holding their award. As the cameras click, Remer yanks Squeak's ears away from his head, giving him that Prince Charles look. Angelon Lancaster Denslow, a well-dressed elderly man wearing a cowboy. Oh shoot, I just hit my thing. Sorry. Wearing a cowboy hat, approaches the guys as they sign for autographs. This is the closest I can come to a cowboy hat right now. Gentlemen. Guys turn to look at him. Lancaster Denslow. I like your little game here. How'd you like to go pro with it?
BASEketball.
What?
That's what we call it.
It's a cross between baseball and base.
Yeah, great, whatever. Anyway, I've been watching you guys play for a couple of weeks now. I started thinking, the world is hungry for a new sport. Something fresh, different. It's a throwback to the days when sports were sports. That's what I love about this game. It's like the old days when people used to have love affairs with their teams, as opposed to now when it's more like one-night stands and date rape. Fellas, I've got three words for you. National BASEketball League.
2 words. You're nuts.
1 word. See ya.
They turn away. Now, wait a minute. Hear me out. They turn back. Boys, we're beginning a whole new century before everyone's surfing the net, watching TV, and listening to books on tape. Don't you see? People have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds. Coop glances over at Remer, who's watching a bird hop around on a branch, turns back to Denslow.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, with this game, you don't have that problem. I ain't seen one yet that lasts more than an hour. But even more important than that, these people, they feel a connection to you as players. We can start fresh. Not allow teams to move to cities or players to be traded, and everybody will get paid the same. Just like when I was a kid and players were treated like.
Indentured servants?
Yes, that's it. You understand. When a team belonged to a city, the fans were cheered for human beings, not just for laundry. In the background, Coop sees some guys on the roof across the street doing the wave. Now, I'm a man who likes to gamble, and I'm willing to bet that Marko will go nuts for basketball. Guys on the roof lose their balance, stumble into the hedges below, taking a satellite dish with them, screams of panic. Now, just listen to that crowd. Can you imagine 20,000 fans cheering for you guys? What do you say? How about it? Push in on Coop and the guys. Special effects over, a cheering crowd. Cut to Engel Stadium organ. Our organist is playing that simple riff always played at sporting events. Dun, 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 going up an octave each time it's repeated.
We love basketball! We love basketball!
Train up to reveal interior Beers Garden Milwaukee Day, a huge sports arena in all its majestic glory, packed with a noisy crowd. An awesome sight, and everyone's chanting along with the organ music.
We love
basketball!
We love basketball! We love basketball!
We love basketball!
Hanging on the scoreboard, flashing the words. Some fans actually have to follow the bouncing ball to keep up. The organs play and the charge fanfare.
Basketball!
A rock band on a platform built into the upper deck launches into a raucous tune. Raucous tune. Crowds cheering, throwing streamers. Angle on the field in quotes. Why is the field in quotes? Anyway, covered in AstroTurf. It's like a mini baseball diamond. The basket mounted to the roof over the garage door facade.
A sellout of 18,000 on hand here today at the Beers Garden for basketball's annual Super Cup Championship.
Angle on announcer's booth. It's really Al Michaels and Bob Costas.
Ninth inning, 2 outs. The Beers down by 2 runs. And Bob Costas, this has to be one of the most exciting Super Cup games in recent memory.
Well, recent memory is just about all we have in basketball, Al. Hard to believe just 5 years ago this game was played only on a driveway.
Angle on Beers cheerleaders. Row of beauties in Victoria's Secret lingerie leap and shake with great abandon.
And it's hard to believe that 5 years ago, those girls were only in grade school.
Angle on the dugout. A field level structure housing the players' bench. Coop at the ball rack bypasses all the slick manufactured basketballs, pulls out his old leather one, which is now threadbare, held together in pieces by duct tape.
Now shooting number 7, Cooper.
A huge cheer from the crowd. Woo! Angle on Coop with lazy boy in hand hustles onto the field. Now we see he's wearing a professional uniform of the Milwaukee Beers emblazoned with a foaming mug logo.
Coop heads for the double line. And just listen to that crowd.
Crowd roars as Coop measures his shot from the double line.
26 for 31. He's already hit for the cycle 7 times today.
Coop bounces the ball. He shoots. Good!
Cheers and applause. Woo! Coop drops to second. The ref on rollerblades glides up, drops a large red disc onto the space he just vacated.
Coop has a 2-out double, keeping Milwaukee's championship hopes alive.
And that brings up Squeak, little bitch Scolari.
Angle on, single line. Squeak measures his shot. Lurking beneath the basket is the Dallas Felons defense, Jim Darcy and Dirk Jansen, all swagger and bravado. Jansen, a tall, Nordic-looking, checks out Squeak.
Hey, Squeak, didn't I just see you holding a lantern on some guy's lawn?
Squeak glances nervously at Jansen and shoots.
Scolari shoots. It's good! Dirk Jansen really missing a psych out.
Squeak trots to first. Coop moves to third.
And that brings up Doug Remer.
Angle on the crowd, stamping feet, waving signs and banners. Noise is deafening, and many wear the official Beers fan headgear. A forehead band representing the rim of a mug, piled high with a hat of foamy bubbles. A handle attachment completes the foam head look. Angled on the field, a roar goes up as Remer does a series of incredible gymnastic cartwheels.
He's definitely the Ozzie Smith of basketball. Although Ozzie Smith may have had better depth perception.
The last cartwheel has gone awry. Remer flips over the railing, lands in the laps of the fans in the front row.
But a crowd pleaser nonetheless.
Remer extricates himself from the seats, jogs onto the field, smiling and waving. A fan's pizza stuck to his ass. Amazing. He reaches a raised baseline space marked bunt. The referee tosses him a ball.
This is a pressure situation, Bob, attempting what most experts feel is one of the hardest shots in basketball.
Sorry about to sneeze. Or not. Freeze frame, Remer. Filling 1/3 of the screen, graphics appear on the other 2/3 as Bob Costas reads and comments. Great on outside doubles. Likes his ball inflated at 25 psi. Lives in a mostly white suburb. Angle on Remer. Jansen points at his feet.
Hey, Remer, make sure your toe's not over the line.
Hey, Jansen, make sure my toe's not up your ass.
Remer sets. He shoots. It's good! Coop scores from third.
It's now a 1-run game as Dirk Jansen apparently misses another psych out.
Fans rage loudly as Coop trots home. He and Remer exchange high fives as they head into the dugout. Angle on announcer's booth.
Let's look at that bunt by Doug Remer again.
On the monitor, Remer's shot is shown from every conceivable angle, including either side, above, beneath, ball cam, rim cam, ref cam, outside through the window cam. Angle on the dugout. Coop and Remer find seats on the bench. Tommy Lasorda is the Beers manager and approaches.
Oh.
Way to go, guys. Heads up, ball.
Thanks, Tommy.
Angle on the crowd, camera sweeps past the likes of Tom Cruise, Jimmy Lee Curtis, and Jack Nicholson, finally settling on an unknown actor.
And enjoying the game this evening, big fan of basketball, Tony Nocciolino, there we go, we got it, who plays the Latino cut-up Scooter on the new hit comedy series, What's the Difference? Sandwiched right between recycled junk and same old crap. All just part of the great fall lineup on this network's Who Gives a Rat's Ass Thursdays.
Accurate. Camera settles on Lancaster Denslow. now even older and more frail than before, if that's possible, intently watching from the owner's box.
That gentleman, of course, Beer's owner, Lancaster Denslow, along with his lovely new wife, Yvette.
Yvette Denslow is young, buxom, and blonde, sporting a huge rock on her finger. She's, mind out of the gutter, guys. I wasn't going to say boobs. She's attempting to follow the game.
You already said buxom. That's what that means. Denslow, of course, keenly aware that this game is perhaps his final chance to take home the coveted Super Cup. 9th inning, 2 outs, the tying run on base, with the potential winning run coming up in Coop.
Crowd is chanting and making a synchronized hand gesture, a la tomahawk chop, but instead a hacky motion. They lift their hands to their mouths as if pouring down a beer.
The foamheads are really into it now. They're doing the Beers chug.
Angle on the cheerleaders as they bounce up and down wildly, dive into headstands. Their tiny slips fall forward, revealing thong-like undergarments. Angle on the stands. 3 guys watch enthralled, gripping their hot dogs so tightly their wieners squirt out of the buns like torpedoes. Ow! Angle on the dugout. Coop's winding a roll of tape around his old ball. He tears it off, trots onto the field. A roar goes up, and the crowd chants.
Coop.
Coop, 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 Coop. A festive mood here, enhanced by the fact it's dozen egg night.
Camera pans to the fans. All seem to be holding cartons of eggs. Angle on the announcer's booth. A small box with a picture of Coop appears on the monitor.
Before the game, we asked Coop if he really believes teams should take triples, even in situations where there are less than 2 outs and no runners on base.
Yes.
Perfect.
Relaxed, confident toast to the home run line goes to the bounced out lazy boy. Oops, he's taped it to his hand. Rolls his eyes, camera pans to the grandstands. Fans are standing, stamping their feet. The Beers mascot, a smiling beer barrel, does a spirited routine in the aisle.
Everyone here is on their feet.
The camera settles on the reserved handicap seats.
Well, almost everyone.
The section's labeled Dream Come True Foundation, an attractive girl next door. Jenna Reed, director of the foundation, sits with her group of disadvantaged children, some of them in wheelchairs. One of the boys, Joey, tightly grips a bundle of Joe Cooper trading cards.
I'm having a bit of sound issues. Sorry.
Coop's gotta hit a home run and win. He's just gotta, Miss Reed. You just gotta.
Joey, no man or woman can win or lose a game by him or herself. Unless, of course, it's golf or tennis.
Angle visiting owner's box. Baxter Kane. Think Donald Trump anxiously watches Coop measure his shot. I see the resemblance.
Dallas owner Baxter Kane attempting to enjoy the game.
Angle on the fans, turning their foam cups backwards a la rally caps. They're cheering, fingering rosary beads. They want this so badly. The Beers mascot falls to his knees in exaggerated prayer. Angle on Denslow. His hands tense on the rail. Suddenly his eyes fly open in pain. Yvette waves her hand in rhythm with hers.
I know, that chug is the cutest thing.
Angle on the field, Coop calm at the line, ready to shoot.
Hey, Coop, I think your friend Denzel's about to buy the farm.
Coop rolls his eyes,
Is that the best you can come up with?
shakes his head, goes into motion. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees Denslow grumble to the ground, falling over a railing like that. And big commotion. Yvette screams, fades. Coop tries to hold up, but can't. The lazy boy takes flight awkwardly, heading for the basket. It bounces off the rim and out. Angle on the scoreboard. In the psych out category, the number of changes to 4.
No good. Oh my God. Coop has missed the key home run. And the Dallas Felons win their 4th consecutive Super Cup on the strength of Dirk Jansen's 29th psych out of the season.
Angle on the fans, stunned for a beat. Then upset, they start shouting.
And once again, the Beers are the perennial bridesmaids.
Angle on Coop. Suddenly he's hit by an egg. Then another. Eggs start flying from all directions. Well, that was a bad idea. Coop is being bombarded.
What an unfortunate thing to happen on Dozen Egg Night.
It's too bad that a few rowdy fans would abuse tonight's promotional gift.
Pardon me. Everyone in the stands has cracked open their cartons and are hurling eggs at Coop. Sorry, I keep losing my spot. Even old ladies and freckle-faced kids, Coop races for the stands, dodging the fullest fusillade of eggs.
And these fans are angry. Even Roman Rocket Night was more peaceful.
Still patching holes on the roof from that one. Reminds me of the time they combined Outfest 96 with Rubber Glove Night.
Angle on the owner's box. 2 paramedics feverishly giving CPR to the unconscious Mrs. Denslow. One pumping her chest, while the other takes long, leisurely breaths into her mouth. Yvette revives as the paramedics fuss over a fan, taps one of them.
Hey, what about him?
Points over to the fallen beer's owner. The paramedics begrudgingly leave Yvette, move over towards Denslow. They start giving him mouth-to-mouth from about half a foot away. Who would want to get near those spit bubbles on the old man's mouth? Not me. Hovering over them, Yvette leaves, lets out a grief-stricken moan. Paramedic number 1 has no choice but to comfort her.
I thought I'd go first.
Everyone nearby looks at her, incredulous. Angle on Coop climbs over the railing, covered in yolk bits of shell stuck to his hair, and Jersey eggs still fall around him, raining down on Denslow too. Coop looks at the paramedics, who shake their heads, start putting away their gear. Coop kneels, cradles the old man in his arm, and Denslow looks up at him. Coop! Coop!
Yeah, I'm here. You're going to be all right, Mr. Denslow.
What, are you kidding?
Coop shoots him a look. Coop! Oh.
Yes, Mr. Denslow. You hope? What do you hope, sir? What?
I never lived to see another shot like that.
I think I can safely say that won't be a problem, sir.
Denslow's arm jerks and the egg in his hand smashes against Coop's face, and the old man dies. Interior felons locker room day. Kane's at the interview podium, an earpiece to his ear. 2 officials in suits hold the Super Cup, a huge colossus, the granddaddy of the Stanley Cup.
Absolutely right. Lancaster Denslow was a hero, a man with a vision to bring basketball from neighborhood driveways to big arenas and into the hearts and TVs of America. Yes, truly a sad day.
Behind him, champagne is popping. Players are double high-fiving each other, and 2 players fly by to a mid-air chest bump. All kinds of joyous screaming and congratulations.
And his untimely death casts an unbearable pall over an otherwise sweet victory.
A bare-ass player, woohoo, swings by in the background, whooping it up. Angle on Dirk Jansen. Dick Vitale thrusts a microphone at him.
Dirk Jansen, game MVP, baby, a reaction to this stunning upset.
Yeah, first I have to thank the Lord, my own personal MVP, for giving me the strength to beat the living crap out of those dickhead beers. And next, I'd like to thank the Lord for
Interior Bears locker room day. Coop and the team enter, dragging X. The beer barrel slumps by, steps into a urinal, reaches down to a strategically placed spigot and pulls the tap. Big sigh. Angle on the wall monitor. The felon celebration is showing live. The Bears crowd around, watch somberly.
But I think the key to the whole game was when I psyched out Coop. No doubt about it.
He high-fives another Dallas player. They begin pouring champagne on each other. Watching, Coop shakes his head.
I can't believe this guy. He didn't psych me out.
Keith Oberman enters, the microphone in hand, sees Coop.
Coop, I know this is a dark time for you.
Coop nods somberly.
Yeah, it was a tough loss.
Well, I think I've just got someone here. I am so sorry for stepping on that. I think I've got someone here that'll cheer you up. It's the president.
The president? To talk to me?
Yes! Oop, ow. Mr. President. Oh, what's that, sir? I'm sorry. He wanted the number for the Dallas locker room. Seems he wants to personally congratulate Dirk. Well, he is a dick. Dirk Jensen on his game-winning psych out.
Incensed, Coop grabs the phone.
Hello, Mr. President. Yeah, sorry, that number is 108 shit! Huh. He hung up.
Coop turns away. Olbermann sees Remer, his back to the camera.
There's Doug Remer, who certainly must be disconsolate after the outcome of today's game. Doug Remer! What are you feeling now?
Remer jerks his hands out of the bra of a buxom Bears cheerleader and quickly turns.
Nothing. I don't know what happened, but it's a team effort, and next season we're going to play one game at a time. We're all going to give 110%. That is if Coop and I each give 60%, and we can get at least 20% of the Squeak, and we'll have let's see now. What is it? It's then.
I just want to see Jeremy keep playing this up. Coop enters the frame, pointing at the monitor.
Hey!
Angle on wall monitor. The Bears cheerleaders are swarming into the Dallas locker room. They immediately jump all over Dick Jansen.
Aren't those? Aw. Oh, I gotta go.
Keith Olbermann turns to the camera, a sheet of paper in his hand.
I'm so sorry I've got you now saying Dick Jensen instead of Dirk. We've just been given figures which indicate that, ironically, on this day of tragedy, BASEketball's Super Cup game has become the #1 rated broadcast so far this year.
Yeah. Dick, Dirk, whatever. In the background, Squeak steps into a large tub marked whirlpool. There's a huge sucking sound. He's spun around, flailing wildly before being dragged down into the swirling vortex.
Eclipsing football, baseball, basketball, and even when animals kill humans, part 6. Wow.
Squeak surfaces briefly, groping in vain for a handhold. His terrified face disappears once more beneath the froth. Exterior players entrance day. A huge mob is clustered around the visitor's door. Reporters shout out questions at the triumphant Dallas players as they emerge. Fans, mostly kids, wave autograph books and pens. Angelon home team's entrance door. A smaller, more subdued group awaits. It's Jenna Reed and several of her foundation children. And in the background near their van, a couple of other foundation kids wait. Coop comes out of the door and Jenna and the children crowd around him.
Mr. Cooper?
Coop stops and looks at her.
Do you think, would you mind signing a few autographs for the kids?
I think you're looking for the Dallas locker room. It's over there.
Yes, I know, but it was too crowded. I mean, they'd rather have your autograph.
Really?
Coop looks around.
You're still their favorite player, even if you didn't make the home run.
She gives him a reassuring smile.
Would you mind signing these?
He looks down at her ample cleavage and raises his pen to sign them.
Sure.
Jenna lifts 2 basketballs into frame.
Oh,
He signs one of the balls.
there you go, Miss.
Reed. Jenna Reed.
They shake hands.
Coop.
I know.
Coop nods, of course. He looks over at the van.
So all these kids are with you?
Yes, I've been the director of the Dream Come True Foundation since October.
Oh, the ones who grant wishes to sick and dying kids, right?
Well, we prefer to think of them as health challenged and survival impaired. We try to make at least one of their dreams come true before, well.
Sounds very worthwhile.
He signs the other ball and Jenna hands him some cash.
Here, I hope this will cover it.
Coop pushes the money back at her.
No. In basketball, we don't take money for autographs.
Oh, I thought, well, a couple of months ago, I got them to see an Albert Bell.
Ah.
Emptied the kids' pockets.
Remer comes out the door, sees Jenna, and checks her out.
Well, hello.
Looks at Coop expectantly. Coop has no choice.
Jenna, this is Remer.
Remer offers his hand.
Doug Remer. I washed.
Nice to meet you.
Off screen, the band's horn honks.
Oh, I guess little Travis is getting impatient. I better get the kids back.
Remer looks over at the band, takes the ball from Coop.
Hey, I love kids. Which one's Travis? Yo, Travis, heads up, big guy.
Don't encourage him. Tosses the ball off screen. There's a thud. A groan from one of the kids.
Oh, needs a little work on the hands.
He's blind, Doug.
Oh.
And go on the local newscast. Attractive blow-dry acres, male and female at the desk. Behind them on the blue screen is a photograph of Lancaster Denslow clutching his throat, disbelief on his face.
By all accounts, the late Beers owner seems to be the only one surprised by his death.
News file footage, grainy black and white film from the 30s of a cowboy astride a horse, strumming a guitar and singing a Gene Autry type song.
The billionaire first made his name in the movies, thrilling audiences for decades as singing cowboy Buck Denslow with his trusty oars, Sour Milk.
In the background, we see a horse taking a big horse piss. Then a bull mounts a cow and starts wailing away. Resume anchors.
Tonight, America mourns the loss of legend Lancaster Denslow, dead at 91. His hairpiece was 24.
Now, stay tuned for sports chatter coming up next.
Widen to reveal interior television studio night. Coop, Remer, and Squeak sit in the dim light on a cheesy talk show set. 4 chairs in a semicircle with a table in the middle. Watching the newscast on a monitor in the wings, Coop shakes his head.
I can't do this tonight.
In the background, a live audience fills a couple of bleacher units, listening to the show announcer drone.
Coop, look, forget about the game. Forget about Denslow. Forget about Dick Jensen. It's over and done with. End of story. Just concentrate on the show and it'll take your mind off of it.
Bright music, lights come up full.
Hi, and welcome to Sports Chatter. Our first guest today is Dallas Villain star Dirk.
Goes, play on the music. Dirk Jansen comes forward carrying his MVP trophy. Audience applauds. Coop covers his microphone, pulls Remer over and whispers.
shit for praise, you booked Dick Jansen?
Yeah, dude. I thought after we beat him, we just bring him on here and torture him.
Well, that's just great.
Jansen sits in the empty chair, sets the trophies just so on the table, and Coop is stewing big time.
So, Dirk, tell me, how did it feel sticking it to us?
Good. Fine. I was just glad I was able to psych out Coop at the end and...
Psych me out, sphincter boy!
Lunges at Jansen. The table is toppled. Trophies fly. Coop and Jansen tussle to the ground. Remer and Squeak pull Coop off.
Okay. Sorry.
The table is righted. Everyone goes back to their seats.
Look, maybe Coop could have made it.
If you hadn't psyched him out.
Jansen smiles smugly. Coop dives across the table again, taking Jansen to the floor. Remer and Squeak once more haul him off. Coop backs towards the seat.
I'll be good.
Hey,
After everyone gets settled once more.
hey, let's change the subject, okay? How about all the other times Coop and Dirk played each other?
Oh, you mean like the time in the 9th inning when Coop missed the triple?
You fucking little rubberhead! Come here.
Dives across the table, attacks Squeak, bowling over Jansen in the process. The three of them roll around fighting. Remer separates everybody.
Look. Why don't we take a question from our studio audience?
Angle on the audience. Several hand goes up, and Remer points to a guy in a ball cap. I have a ball cap. Why is my camera not coming on? My camera won't turn on. Sorry. There we go. Dirk, what kind of shoes do you wear when you play?
Well, I've got the new Adidas Ozone Kings.
Worn only by the league's biggest dickwads, you inbred bozo!
That was aggressive. Coop dives over again, jabbing Hansen. They careen into Squeak, tipping over his chair. All three crash into the table, flattening it. Arms and legs flailing everywhere.
Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank our producer and everyone involved in making it happen. Now we're off for a much-needed rest. See you next season, which starts just 1 week from today.
Son of a bitch!
The background of melee continues. Support for the back wall and the set are knocked out, and it falls towards Remer.
So until then, good night from Sports Chatter.
Law crashes down. Luckily for Remer, there's a window hole right where he's standing. Exterior law office building, J. Tight angle on a stand-up reporter speaking to a beta cam.
I'm standing in front of the law offices of Kahan, Kerensky, Capricella, and Breslau, where the world is awaiting the reading of Lancaster Denslow's will.
The frame widens and we see another stand-up reporter.
Jenna really believed that Denslow's widow, Yvette, will inherit the team.
The frame continues to widen, revealing more and more reporters, all doing similar stories until the frame is completely clogged with yakking reporters. The shout goes up to the limo pulls to the curb. The herd of reporters rush to the car. Angle, limo. The chauffeur emerges, opens a black door to reveal Yvette Denslow. Steps out, one shapely leg at a time. The reporters crush forward, waving microphones, jostling her.
Miss Denslow!
Miss Denslow, there!
Miss Denslow!
Miss Denslow!
Kane climbs out of the limo behind her.
People, please, leave the poor woman alone. Can't you see she's grief-stricken?
Yvette is smiling for the cameras, primping and posing.
So what does it mean for basketball now that Denslow's dead?
Well, I can't answer for the new owner here, Mrs. Denslow, but I'm sure you're all aware that moving a team would be against the basketball rules. This isn't the NFL, you know, where you can just load up the vans in the middle of the night and drive to Indianapolis in a blizzard. No, you can't do that in basketball, at least not under prevailing rules. Look, no more questions, no comments.
Takes Yvette's elbow, guides her through the throng of media. Interior law office day, set up like a screening room. A theater-style seating. Yvette and Kane sit among the gathered crowd. She dabs her eyes with a hanky. At one end is a stage with a large monitor on which a videotape of Lancaster Denslow is playing. A valuable limited edition, signed, mold, and painted plate. commemorating the Pope's visit to Dodger Stadium, the photocop certificate of authenticity I leave to my cousin, Ronnie. Denslow's executor holds up a plate for all to see. Oohs and ahs from the crowd. A Midwest-looking man heads toward the stage to collect it. People clap him on the back. Lucky bastard. In the back, Coop enters, makes his way down the aisle. He slides into the seat, looks over, and 2 seats away from Jenna.
Jenna, what are you doing here?
I'm not sure.
She pulls an envelope from her pocket.
I got this letter.
Me too.
Remer and Squeak trundle in noiselessly. Remer is carrying a big bouquet of flowers and bound with a black ribbon that reads, "Goodbye, old friend." He accidentally knocks into the man carrying the plate, which falls and shatters into 100 pieces. Oblivious, Remer continues down to where Coop and Jenna sit. He flops right between them and peers over the crowd.
Where's the body?
Dude, they buried him 2 days ago. This is the will reading.
Oh. These are for you then.
Jenna takes the flowers. Coop rolls his eyes, annoyed. As Denslow continues to drone in the background, Remer shakes his head.
Great way to spend the off season. A funeral, a will reading, and 3 days of doing laundry.
Are you through?
No, can I borrow some quarters?
The convenience store I've owned for 25 years, I leave to my faithful clerk, Rashid, along with an extra bequest of $5,000 to raise the bulletproof counter glass from 5 feet to 6 feet. Angle, a tall, swarthy guy in the crowd. Beneath the edge of his turban, a huge gauze bandage is visible. He looks a little shell-shocked. Sorry it wasn't in time for you, Rashid. There's an organization in this city that, more than any other, understands what basketball means. These kids appreciate that the same player will be back next season, even though they won't. Jesus, and I love them for it. Therefore, I bequeath these season tickets to the Dream Come True Foundation. Angela and Jenna, surprised. Executor approaches her and hands her the tickets.
This is so wonderful. The kids will be so excited, especially little Joey. He's such a huge fan of yours, Coop, but he's really sick. I know he'd love it if you came by the hospital to visit sometime.
Maybe I'll do that.
Another angle to include the monitor. Denslow peers out the monitor screen. And finally, of course, get down. Get down. Of course, my beloved Bears, I could never imagine anyone other than a Denslow heading up this team. Everyone leans forward, necks craned towards Yvette, who's positively beaming. Until now, I bequeath controlling interest of the team to Joseph R. Cooper. In unison, all heads snap towards Coop. Yvette's hopeful expression turns to shock. Kane is dumbfounded. Remer high fives the stunned Coop, then knocks fists with Squeak.
Cool, dude, we got the team.
Uproar from the crowd. Denslow continuing quiets them somewhat. My dear wife, Yvette, is to receive the other 49% of the team and continued unlimited use of the plastic surgery gold card.
I gave him the best 3 months of my life.
He looks over at Coop, already formulating plan B. Now, I'm sure this is a shock, especially to you, Yvette, but I hope as time goes on, you'll understand my decision. And Coop?
Yes, Mr. Denslow?
Looks around sheepishly. Jesus, I answered a videotape. Coop, you have until the end of this upcoming season to win the Super Cup. Do that, and the Bears are yours forever. Fail, and your 51% of the team reverts to Yvette. Murmurs from the crowd. Now, I know this time never may seem harsh, but I gave you 2 years, it turned into 3, and these 3 turned into 4, and then before you know it, it'd be still Wonder Cup, and then I've been reincarnated as a freaking chihuahua. Anyway, bear faith, you can win it. Now, I'd like to ask everyone to leave the room so I can have a private moment. Coop. A beat. No one leaves. Now that we're alone, Coop, something I've been wanting to get off my chest for a long time. I just have to tell someone before I burst. The monitor picture widens to reveal Denslow's wearing a skirt and the crowd stares gap-mouthed. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay and I'm pretty. Any girl isn't me today. Which way go? As Denslow continues his prissy singing, people look on stunned. Yvette screams and faints. Amid the chaos, the paramedics appear before from out of nowhere. Paramedic 1 goes right to Yvette's breast without even a nod to the CPR decorum. Paramedic 2 gives himself a shot of Banaka before diving in from mouth to mouth. Interior Beers Garden night, wide shot of the large, boisterous crowd. The rock band on their upper deck platform is kicking with some hot jams.
The Bears down by 1 run to Miami in this season opener, a game they have dedicated to Lancaster Denslow.
And new majority owner Coop Cooper coming up here in the 6th.
My throat hurts. Coop trots to the field wearing ridiculous calf-high black socks.
Keep having Ricolas. Anyway, whatever, sorry. He is, of course, wearing black in memory of the late team Beers owner, as is the rest of the team.
Angle. Beers dug out. The whole team, including Lasorda and the coaches, is wearing stupid black socks, making them look incredibly dorky too.
New face on the bench tonight, a reserve player picked up during the offseason. Cuban refugee Miguel Hernandez, ready to fill in should anyone ever get injured.
Angle on announcer's boost.
Which has never actually happened in basketball.
And of course, tonight's opening game made all the more special by the fact it's free-range chicken night.
My favorite night, Angle on the grandstand. Sure enough, many of the fans are holding or trying to hold squawking chickens. The birds are everywhere in the aisles, on the seatbacks, bopping after the peanut vendors. Angle on the field, Coops at the double line, trying to focus despite the constant squawking and clucking off screen. And the background fans chase flapping birds.
Coop shoots. It's up. No good.
The defensive players, their jerseys emblazoned with Miami dealers, along a logo depicting a grinning Cuban with a chainsaw attempting to tip the ball in.
Weaver tips no good. Repke tips off the rim. Ball in play. Beers offense with a chance at the conversion. Remer's in. He's up.
Remer goes up for the tip. He misses.
Off to the right. Now Coop's up. Over his head. Off the backboard. It's good. Bears get the conversion and the shot counts as made.
Every year, basketball gives us at least one exciting play, and this may have been it, Al.
And so early in the season, doesn't give us much to look forward to, does it, Bob?
Just go to Interior Beers Garden night. The scoreboard reads Milwaukee 7, Miami 3. Pan down to reveal the game's over. People are filing out. Young fans have chickens sticking out of their backpacks. Several of the grounds crew are chasing stray birds around the floor. England's dugout, Coop and Remer head out towards the locker room. Baxter Kane approaches.
Joe Cooper, I'm Baxter Kane.
Kane offers his hand and Coop shakes it.
Mr. Kane, yeah, Mr. Denslow told us about you.
Remer thrusts his hand, grabs Kane, starts pumping.
Awesome. The greedy backstabbing butt pirate.
Coop shoots him a look. Kane pulls away, hand away from Remer.
Excuse me. I haven't had a chance yet to welcome you to the community of owners. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to ask.
More chicks?
Just to let you know, next week we'll be voting on changing some of the basketball administrative rules. I'd like to tell the others you're with us.
Yeah, I think basketball's fine the way it is.
Of course it is. in some respects. But until we start allowing teams to move cities, players to change teams, and take advantage of lucrative corporate tie-ins, I'm afraid you and your colleagues will continue working for, well, you know.
He motions over to a flock of chickens walking around, pecking grain off the floor.
That sucks, dude.
Coop, the ball is in your hands. Changing the rules requires a yes vote from every owner. Denslow was already filthy rich. He didn't need the changes like you do.
Off screen, we hear a flop, flop. In the background, the groundsman goes by with industrial vacuum sucking the stray chickens. Flop.
Mr. Kane, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you're asking him to betray a man who was like a father to me. So, no, I'm sorry. If you want unanimous consent, you'll have to get it from one of the other owners.
Coop heads off down the tunnel, disgruntled. Kane turns to leave. Remer calls after him.
Sounds great. We'll get back to you.
Exterior hospital day, a huge big and white, a huge neon crucifix on the route. Interior hospital day, a comatose looking 8-year-old kid languishes in bed. A worried Jenna sits on a nearby chair trying to read. The curtain partition opens. Jenna smiles brightly as Coop enters, carrying a molded case.
Coop, what a pleasant surprise.
Thought I'd come by and visit that sick kid you mentioned.
Remer enters, carrying 2 cups of coffee, hands one to Jenna.
Here's your coffee, Jenna, just like you take it. 2 sweet and lows, steamed milk, a dash of cinnamon sprinkled on top.
Thank you, Doug.
Remer looks at Coop.
I thought you were going to the outlet mall.
I thought you had your electrolysis appointment.
I did. Check it out.
Lifts up his nostril. Coop glares at him. Jenna shakes Joey awake.
Joey, look who's here.
She motions to Coop. Joey's face lights up with a smile.
My biological father?
No, it's me, Joe Cooper.
Coop! Coop! Is it really you?
Yeah, it's me. So, what seems to be the matter with you, little buddy?
Well, I'm so glad I had this prop ready, but I'm going to die.
Well, I mean, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, but not this week.
Joey, what did I tell you about staying positive?
From the nightstand piled with Coop trading cards, she picks up a framed photo of an Eskimo in a parka holding a harpoon.
You know, Mr. Leloup is type O negative, just like you. His liver will be here any day now.
Remer takes the picture and looks at it.
Just as soon as they locate the whale that swallowed him.
Joey's eye bug out in disbelief.
Providing, of course, he hasn't been completely digested.
He laughs and gives Joey a noogie on the arm. Joey bursts into tears. Coop pushes Remer away from the bed. Eye to eye with the boy.
Joey, he's only kidding. He doesn't know any better. If he was the last man on Earth, he'd still be the village idiot.
Coop stands.
Something to show you.
Coop sets his case on the bed, carefully opens it to reveal his old red bear ball. He gently lifts it out, folds it up proudly. Joey's eyes light up. He wipes away the tears.
Wow! Lazy boy!
That's right, Joey. Look, I don't know where I'd be without it. If I had a nickel for every time this old ball pulled me out of a tight spot, I'd have a shitload of nickels. Sorry. I made it myself, you know.
Really? Gosh.
Yep. Long time ago.
Joey reaches out, reverently touches the ball.
Wow. Gee, Coop, I want to be just like you when I grow up.
Coop gives a pained glance at Jenna. She whispers in his ear. Their eyes meet. Linger. Remer notices the intimate moment.
Yo, Jenna, another cup of coffee?
The moment is broken. Coop gives him a look and turns to Joey.
Hey, I'll tell you what, partner. The good folks, the Dream Come True Foundation, are gonna make your last wish. I mean, they're gonna make your dream come true, as long as it doesn't, involve some kind of miracle cure or something like that. Heck, the guy's on death row and they get a meal, right? So what's your dream?
Well, I always dreamed of big game bunting. Hunting! Shit. Oops.
Coop and Jenna exchange a worried look.
How about an endangered species? Like a unicorn, or a bald eagle, or a giant panda?
Whoa, there, little fella. I don't really think that's in the true spirit of the organization. What else do you want more than anything else in the world?
Chelsea Clinton.
That's a pretty tall order, dude. We need to have a better shot with Bill. What, do you have any backup dreams?
Well, there is one other thing. Could I, just once, could I hang out with the team? Just spend a day with the bears? Could I, Coop?
Da beers. Music up. Smash cut to interior laundromat day. Coop and the guy sitting with Joey in front of a glass front dryer, watching the clothes spin around and round. Interior Coop's house day. Coop and the guys watch Joey sitting around, a huge jar full of change, rolling pennies. Interior Coop's house later, a box lid for the 20,000-piece St. Louis Blizzard jigsaw, a snow scene with the famous arch barely visible. The guys and Joey hopelessly sorting through a mountain of white puzzle pieces. Exterior sky day, Coop and Joey wearing leather helmets and goggles, flying on an ultralight, leading a flock of migratory birds south. And exterior old folks home day, Coop on guitar along with the guys and Joey entertaining a ward full of comatose old people in the background of corners, zipping up a bag around a body. Share it all. Exterior park day, Coop and the guys walking the Rottweiler. Coop puts the leash in Joey's hand. Almost immediately, they're distracted by a sexy woman on rollerblades. The dog takes off, dragging Joey, a dummy, after him. Interior local sports bar day. Jukebox music is over. A sign on the wall reads, Maury's on Prospect. Live a little. A shot girl leaves the frame and tray around her, the tray around her neck empty. Widen to reveal Coop, Remer, Squeak, and Joey are all bellied up to the bar mid-toast, and they down their kamikaze shots and bang glasses upside down on the wood among a pile of others.
Oh boy, this has been so great. I feel like I'm gonna upchuck all over the bar.
You see, Joey? Dreams really do come true.
Squeak is eyeing a woman a couple of stools over. Choules, it's obvious, is literally really a guy, but not to Squeak, who looks smitten.
Whoa. She is hot.
Stop. Quickly heads for the woman. Coop and Remer exchange, I can't see Starbuck, exchange a glance to move to stop him. Coop looks at his watch.
Oh, shit, it's late. We got a game tonight. And you got that big liver operation.
Yeah.
Joey looks down at his feet.
Yeah. But
What? Well, don't worry, you're gonna be fine.
I just know that I could pull through if you could.
What, Joey?
Joey shakes his head.
Joey, you say it and Coop will do it.
Could you? Could you, Coop? Do you think you could hit a home run for me in tonight's game?
Well, Joey,
Come on, Coop. It's not like he's asking you to hit 2 home runs.
Could you, Coop? Could you hit 2 home runs?
Of course he could. Hell, he could hit 3 home runs.
Shoots a look at Remer.
3?
Christ, Coop. They're flying his liver in like frozen cod from Alaska. The least you can do is he'll do it, Joey.
Oh!
Joey leaps his arm.
Thanks, Coop. You're the best.
Excuse me, Joey.
He lifts the hinged bartender door, grabs Remer, yanks him down, repeatedly slams the wood section on his head.
Yeah, I feel much better now. Here's to you, Joey!
Everyone slams back another shooter. A cabbie enters. Somebody order a taxi! Coop waves at him with, yo! This turns back to Joey.
I'm gonna hit those 3 home runs. We better get going. Here, climb on, kid.
Joey scampers onto his shoulders. Remer and Squeak fall into step as Coop piggybacks the kid towards the door. Joey's having the ride of his life, smiling big time.
All right, Joey, from now on, everything's going to be, hey, okay.
Joey's smile vanishes, his eyes widen in horror. The low door frame catches him full in the face. Wham! Enter Beer's Garden Night, the crowd all wearing big silver Joey ribbons. Cheers as Coop makes his way to the home run line. He is looking a little wobbly, 5 o'clock shadow on his face.
Oh my, what a story this is. Little Joey Campbell undergoing a life-saving operation tonight.
And his hero Joe Cooper promising to hit 3 home runs. A promise that could mean the difference between life and death for this brave little boy.
Coop staggers to the line. His hands are trembling badly. He looks well drunk. He wipes sweat from his brow. Angle of the dugout. Lasorda and Hernandez watch Coop curiously.
What's wrong with that cockroach Coop tonight?
I don't know, but he smells like the inside of Ted Kennedy's car.
Oh,
Jesus. They move out of the frame, revealing Remer and Squeak sprawled on the bench, their heads in buckets.
Jesus, still recovering from that. It appears some of the beers starting lineup have come down with some sort of flu bug.
Angle on Coop, trying to focus, rubs his eyes, points to the hoop and stares down his finger, getting his bearings on the rim. Angle on the announcer's booth.
He's calling his shot. I can't believe it! Coop is calling his shot.
Well, duh.
Resume Coop as he shoots.
It's up. It's good. Coop sings his second home run of the game.
Coop trots to first, trips on the base, goes headlong into the owner's box, taking out a lot of well-heeled gas. Enter your hospital operating room night. Joey lies on the table, hooked up with hoses and tubes. A surgeon goes over to his charts, hands them off to a nurse.
His red cell count is way up since yesterday. Has there been any changes in his fluid intake?
Oh, I've never seen anything like it. He's 8 years old and he smells like the inside of Ted Kennedy's car.
Joey lets out a huge belt into your Beer's Garden Night. And from the dugout, Squeak scans to the stands. His eyes fell upon the woman from the bar. He grins and waves, turns to Remer.
She's here. Heather came.
Remer barely lifts his head out of the bucket.
Dude, she's a guy.
No way, man. You're just saying that because you want her for yourself.
No, I'm saying it because she's a guy.
That's impossible. She's got the cutest little upturned nose, the softest lips, and the sweetest Adam's apple.
Remer shoves his head back into the bucket, hurls big time. Angela and Jenna alone in the stands. She has her fingers crossed as Coop again heads for the home run line. Crowd is chanting.
Coop, Coop, Coop.
The crowd's on their feet here as Coop steps to the line for his last at-bat.
Coop holds up his hand. The crowd silences. Coop closes his eyes. A beat. Another beat.
He's deep in focus out there, Bob. This obviously means a lot to him.
Soft snoring. Coop has fallen asleep on his feet. Yes, you're a cat. Get out of my face. The blast of a soft air horn startles him awake. He shoots, totally from reflex. Ball jerks out of his hand, flies towards the basket.
It's going. Looks like Coop has made a dream come true for a very brave little...
It keeps going, sails over the background into the crowd. Ouch, lands in the peanut vendor's tray. The fans groan.
Oh.
Man, the Lord must really have it in for that little boy.
Oh my God.
Interior hospital, still in uniform. Coop, Remer, and Squeak race down the hall. Angle on inside Joey's room. The guys dash in, stopped abruptly. They stare at Joey's empty bed, devastated. Coop falls to his knees.
Oh, why?
Come on, Coop. It's over.
His teammates try to help him to his feet.
Oh, poor Joey, why?
A nurse enters.
If you're looking for Joey, he was moved next door.
Oh.
The jubilant players race out into the hall. Interior hospital hallway day. The guys hurry to the next room. Stop in horror. The door's labeled Gulp Morgue. Coop again falls to his knees.
Oh, why?
The nurses follow them into the hall. Rolls her eyes.
Mr. Koopa, gentlemen.
Opens a different door. The other next door. Buoyed by a new hope, the guys rush in. Interior post-op ward night. Among the other recovering adult patients, there's a little Joey with an air hose in his mouth, lying perfectly still. Coop rushes to the bed. Squeak and Remer confer with the nurse.
The operation went fine, but right after your game, we thought he was suffocating, but he kept screaming, choke, 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 and then he lost consciousness.
Remer and Squeak exchange a knowing look.
It's probably just post-op stress. He'll be fine in the morning. He just needs his sleep. Don't stay too long.
They nod. The nurse exits. Angle on Coop. Sits on the bed next to the boy, crushing the air hose hooked up to Joey's respirator, which stops mid-pump.
Joey, I know you can't hear me, but I'm sorry I missed that third home run. Remember when I told you that dreams do come true? Well...
Joey's eyes bulge. She bolts upright, gasping for air.
Coop, he's awake. He's trying to tell you something.
What is it, Joey? What?
Hey, he's turning blue.
Oh my God, this fork is freezing. He needs a blanket.
All right, he leaps up, releasing Joey's air hose. Joey flops back in the pillow, relief flooding his face, until Remer lowers himself into Coop's vacated spot. Pinching off the air supply again, Joey convulses forward.
Don't worry, I'm here for you, kid.
Coop lunges for a blanket on a nearby bed, jerks it away. Unfortunately, it's tucked beneath the patient, who flops into the air and rolls off the bed. Oblivious, Coop moves Remer aside and wraps the blanket tightly around Joey.
Here, this will warm you up, little buddy.
Joey's eyes roll back into his head. He collapses on the bed, angled in the heart monitor. It starts whining somberly.
Holy mother of God, he's flatlining.
Angle on the guys. Coop is devastated. Remer and Squeak shake their heads.
He's gone, Coop.
Sorry, man. You did your best. Who's up for pizza?
Was a good kid. Say hi to Denslow for us, Joey.
Pepperoni and onions, no anchovies?
Remer looks at Joey, shakes his head, claps Coop on the back.
This might put a damper on your next date.
They turn to go. Coop suddenly goes nuts.
No, I'm not giving up.
He grabs Joey, starts frantic CPR, pounding on the kid's chest.
Hey, Joey, come back!
His teammates try to pull Coop away, but he's beyond reason.
Coop, get a hold of yourself!
I think he did all the screams. Coop looks around frantically, grabs a pair of electric cardio shock panels.
What are you doing?
Clear!
He puts the panels to Joey's chest, sends 5,000 volts coursing through his little body, which leaps around 2 feet off the bed. Joey's eyes fly open, then nothing. Squeak leans in to check the kid's pupils. Coop cranks up the voltage to 10,000 again, places the paddles to Joey's chest.
Clear!
Unfortunately, Squeak still has his hands on Joey as the powerful jolt surges through the kid. Squeak starts convulsing spasmodically, his clenched teeth bared. Angle on the patient. The guy Coop debedded. He's just crawling back into his mattress. He grabs the metal rail. Squeak's feet jerk straight out, making contact with the bed, lights them both up like a Christmas tree.
More voltage up to what's the 15,000?
Remer cranks the knob. Squeak's blown backwards out of the frame. Angle and Squeak torpedoes through a door into a ward full of kids huddled around a TV, watching a Frankenstein movie. Disheveled hair, smoking, he stumbles to his feet, staggers stiffly, and starts moaning. The kids look from Squeak to the movie. They scream and run for their lives. Angle on Coop, pressing paddles together for another jolt.
Coop, do you know what you're doing?
What's it look like?
An execution!
Dear God, I'm trying to save an innocent life!
I'm giving it all I can, Captain!
I love ya. Always have. Clear! This isn't working. I'm gonna try an open heart massage. I need a scalpel and a rib separator.
Angle on the nurse re-enters carrying a stack of bedpans, pulls up short angle on nurse's POV, Coop and Remer, and their sweaty baseball uniforms working over a comatose Joby. Nearby, a still smoldering Squeak is examining himself with one of those portable x-ray machines, mesmerized by his own organs, and by the blow dryer camera and coat hangers also depicted. Resumed nurse drops the bedpans, horrified.
My God! What are you doing?
He's a flatliner. Go blue nurse. 76 either sodium pentothal. That.
I didn't understand a word of that. Cop dashes out of the frame.
Get away from him. Get out of here.
The guys back off. The nurse crosses to the heart monitor, jiggles the wire, the beeps again instantly as the indicator leaps up and down across the screen.
You morons, it's just a loose connection.
You mean he's not dead?
No, you stupid fucks.
Coop rushes back into the frame carrying a gigantic hypodermic needle.
Either way, cardiac syringe coming through.
No.
Stuff like, why do you have a syringe? He stumbles over the bedpans to get wedged to his feet like a giant aluminum snowshoe. They trip him up, the nurse grabs for him as he tumbles by. They crash into the wall. The syringe plunges into a wall socket. Coop and the nurse light up for a split second. Her hair immediately frizzed out. Exterior hospital night. The entire place goes dark. Even the buzz light across the roof flickers, shorts out. Zzz, zzz. Interior, Coop's house, night. Coop slumps on the couch, staring at a baseball game on the television.
Gibson was so banged up, he wasn't even introduced for the game, but he's up there now with a 3-2 count on him.
And on the television in the 1988 World Series, Kurt Gibson at the plate. Eckersley pitches. Gibson swings and rips a towering fly.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
Gibson trots around the bases, pumping his fist. The scene rewinds, then plays out again. Wagon to reveal. Coop rewinds, watches Gibson hit the home run again. In his hand is the actual ball he caught as a kid. Suddenly, the picture cuts out. Split second of magnetic snow, then a typical reality show flickers on.
Throughout the back roads and byways of America, in this segment of Roadkill Caught on Tape.
Aw.
Coop is horrified as he watches the endless barrage of furried animals hurled through the air off the speeding vehicles. This is horrible. He snatches a picture from side to side table. It's a framed photograph of Coop, Remer, and Squeak in the old days, proudly holding the ball, a small homemade trophy. Squeak's face has a pained expression from Remer's mishandling of his ears.
I can't believe those assholes taped over the game.
Doorbell rings. Coop clicks off the TV, stomps to the door, clutching the photo. Angle on the door, swings open to reveal.
Jenna.
I hope I didn't interrupt anything.
No.
He moves to the side to let her in.
When you weren't at the hospital, I came right here. Apparently, there was some sort of terrorist attack on the post-op ward.
Terrorists?
Arabs disguised as American basketball players. I was so worried about Joey.
Did they? Is he? Was he?
He's fine now. Came through the operation with flying colors.
All right. With that new livery, you should be peeing like a champ in no time.
Jenna gives him a look.
That's kidneys, Coop.
Oh.
Jenna notices the picture in his hand.
Oh, look at you guys. You seem so
Innocent?
I was gonna say happy.
I guess we were.
And this is?
No, happy. We were just a bunch of guys playing ball in the driveway. You know, next thing I know, we're on ESPN. That was cool. And I've got all this responsibility and kind of overwhelming. You know, sometimes it almost makes me forget why I play the game.
Why do you play, Coop?
He looks at her for a beat, a faint smile.
Kurt Gibson.
The guy who saved the Enterprise from the Tribbles?
No, that's Captain Kirk.
The bald guy?
No. Well, unless you mean William Shatner without the hairpiece. No, the guy I'm talking about played for the Dodgers. With the pressure on the ninth inning of the World Series, he smashed a game-winning home run. I remember growing up, it meant so much to me.
She stares at him for a beat.
You know, that's what you mean to the kids. Basketball is the only sport where the fans still matter, where a kid can root for his favorite team and players and know that they'll all be back next year. And then year after that. Joey doesn't have much time to count on, but he can count on that.
Coop nods.
I'm sure he'll remember tonight for the rest of his life.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
They stare into each other's eyes and start to kiss. Suddenly, Remer and Squeak enter, wearing hospital scrubs and carrying all sorts of hospital paraphernalia. Remer has an ear light and one nostril, his nose glowing like Rudolph's.
Yo, Coop, look at all this cool shit we scored at the hospital.
He sees them kissing.
How could you?
Coop and Jenna jump apart.
I'm sorry,
I'm talking to Coop.
Remer grabs Squeak and leads him over to Coop.
How could you break this little man's heart? He's giving you the best years of his life.
Coop is confused. Squeak starts to say something, but Remer claps his hand over his eyes and mouth. Squeak struggles.
No, I can't let you see this.
Remer.
Oh, sure. While we're away busy volunteering as lactating nurses, this is what you're up to.
Jenna heads for the door.
look, I better let you guys work this out. Call me when you're straight. I mean, when everything's straightened out.
She's gone. Remer releases. Coop glares at him, advances menacingly. Remer backs away.
Whoa, dude, I was just joking.
Coop lightens up, nods.
I know, forget it. But you look good as a doctor.
You think so?
Yeah. Coop nods, lifts the stethoscope around Remer's neck, hooks it in Remer's ears.
Does this work?
Yeah.
Asshole!
Remer is plastered against the wall. Cut to video footage. A basketball game. Dick Jansen doesn't like how the referees call. An argument ensues. I apologize, I'm tired. Jansen spits on the ref, then pulls out a gun and shoots him in the leg. The fuck? Widen to reveal interior Kane Worldwide Sports Entertainment Enterprises plush office day. The acting commissioner of basketball reacts in horror, shuts the TV off, turns to face Kane, sitting nearby.
This is a very serious matter, Mr. Kane. Spitting is one thing, but this, I think you'll agree that shooting a referee simply cannot be tolerated.
Oh, I agree, Commissioner Earwig. And even though the player involved is the star of my team, I insist on the most extreme punishment.
The commissioner nervously clears his throat.
Then I think we have no other choice but to ban him from basketball for life.
All right, but do you think we should penalize the entire sport because of what one man has done?
Well, no, of course not. We'll suspend him for a season.
He nods.
That's good. I wonder, though, if that's not too heavy a burden on his teammates. Why should they have to pay for his indiscretion, especially for a team that has such a good chance at the playoffs?
Point well taken. Then, how about this? I say we suspend him for 20. That is 10 games, of which 5 suspended games will be suspended.
A wise decision, Commissioner. Now, when should this suspension start?
Commissioner ponders this.
We'll start the suspension at the beginning of next season. That is to say the pre-season.
Excellent. But I'm wondering if it's a good thing to remind fans of this sordid affair just as a new season is beginning.
Obviously not.
He pounds the table with his fist.
Then it's decided. There will be a 10-game suspension, of which 5 games are suspended, and the remaining 5 will be likewise if the player doesn't shoot any more referees for the rest of the season. The suspension, if any, to be served at the player's convenience at the beginning of a preseason to be determined.
That'll show them.
Interior Kane Worldwide Sports Enterprises Day, a well-appointed lobby, sports memorabilia everywhere, a large sign on the wall, Kane Worldwide Sports Enterprises, America's family of teams, over a smiling portrait of Kane. Remer enters, looks around, sees a baseball sitting on a stand, picks it up. It's autographed Babe Ruth. Remer takes out a pen, adds his own name to the ball. He spies bat, big signature, Ty Cobb.
Whoa.
He lifts the bat, goes into a batting stance, takes a little practice swing. Now he takes a full cut with the bat.
Mr. Remer.
Mid-swing, Remer turns. The bat flies out of his hand, sails out through an open window.
Hey, Mr. Kane.
Good to see you, Remer. And nice of you to take time out of your busy schedule this morning.
What schedule?
So that reminds me, can you break a 20?
$1?
Remer pushes a hand in his pocket a beat, looks sheepishly.
I didn't think so.
Kane motions him towards the hall. They walk past logos of Kane's various teams: Dallas Felons, basketball, Washington Redskins, football, Cleveland Indians, baseball, Florida Seminoles, college football. He owns a football team. College.
Let me get right to the point, Don. May I call you Don?
Yeah, I guess so.
Don, when I see one of basketball's hottest stars with less than $20 in his pocket, driving an American car, and sharing a small house with 2 other guys, do you know what that says to me?
Homos?
No. It says to me you are underappreciated and underpaid.
They pass more logos. Each has a god-awful, tasteless stereotype caricature appropriate to their name. Nope.
Dude, you are so on the money.
Well, I want to change all of that. Players of your caliber should be able to play where they can earn the biggest dollars. Besides, wouldn't you rather the Bears play someplace where it's warm year-round?
He looks around. Remer's no longer beside him. Engelon Remer is accidentally boarded an escalator, oblivious as he drops towards the lower floor. Kane falls after him.
Remer
looks back, confused to see Kane above him. He struggles to run back up the descending steps, finally reaches landing out of breath.
Try to stay with me.
They continue walking.
Now, as I was saying, do you think Shaq got rich playing for Orlando?
Remer shrugs. Kane shakes his head.
Hardly. He made his fortune moving to LA. You know what he makes now?
As much as he made playing in college?
What? No, a lot more. Big money. And you can too.
Would I have to quit basketball?
What? No. You need to get Coop to go along.
He'd have to quit basketball too?
Kane takes a breath.
No. I need him to agree to the changes.
Who?
Coop.
What?
You.
Me?
Us.
Remer's staring down at his feet. He's got mismatched sneakers on. He looks at Kane.
My shoes.
Remer notices the pain expression on Kane's face.
Did I just fart?
A meter maid approaches them, carrying 2 halves of a bat. Hey, someone here named Cobb lose a bat? Kane looks suicidal. Exterior basketball arena night. Sign outside reads Galaxy Center, home of the Roswell aliens. A camera cranes down to reveal the parking lot full of parked flying saucers. Interior Galaxy Center field tunnel night. Coop and Remer coming up the tunnel. Remer shouting over a din of the crowd.
Hey, Coop, listen, I talked to the rest of the guys. They all want these changes. We could be making some big-time cheddar.
What do you mean you talked to the guys? I already told you my decision. Look, Mr. Denslow wanted it.
Dude, hello. I'm sure Denslow's happy in his little worm farm, but us...
Well, I'm not doing it, dude. End of story.
Coop storms off. Remer stares after him. Angle on scoreboard. 7th inning. Beers 2, Aliens 9.
Top of the 7th, and the Milwaukee Beers are taking a drubbing from the Roswell Aliens.
Huge cheers off screen. Angle on announcer's booth.
Those cheers you're hearing from nearly 15,000 on hand here for probe night.
Camera pans the stands. Everyone's holding lighted instruments that look like cattle prods. Angle on the field. 2 Roswell players set up under the basket. Their uniforms are made of silver metallic material emblazoned with the classic bug-eyed rendering of an extraterrestrial.
2 outs and Doug Remer heading for the double line. He's 0 for 20 so far tonight. In fact, with the exception of Coop, the beers are ice cold.
Remer comes out of the dugout onto the field. He doesn't even bother to measure his shot, just tosses it up haphazardly.
And the beers are gone again.
I'll tell you, Al, I've seen postal workers with better aim.
Oh, boy.
Remer makes his way past a beer barrel mascot who velcros a cloth frown over his smile. Coop steps out of the dugout, holds out his fist to be knocked. Remer blows right past him.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your 7th inning stretch enjoyment, the Galaxy Center is proud to present Harry Carey.
Angle on announcer's booth. Bob Costas and Al Michaels look on. Harry Carey leans out the window. Mike in hand. His voice echoes through the arena.
Well, hello, everybody.
Amazing. The crowd cheers. The organ kicks it in with a riff reminiscent of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. The crowd gets to their feet. Harry begins leading them in song.
Basketball is our favorite. We should watch it all day. No coke snorting players, tattoos on their ass, or Skyblock is funded by taxpayers' cash.
The crowd sways in unison in time to the music. Angle on beers cheerleaders enthusiastically shimmy as they steam along. The dancing beer barrel adds to the festive atmosphere.
In basketball, we have heroes we can count on each year. With 51 weeks of games to see, there's barely enough time for a beer and a pee, so it's sit on our hemorrhoids.
Ankle on the dugout. Coop stares at the dispirited team. Off screen, we hear Harry Carey and the crowd singing and cheering.
All right, what the hell's going on? You guys are dogging it out there.
They all give him the finger.
Oh, I get it. You guys are pissed off. Well, I won't go along with Mr. Kane.
Guys grumble.
Since when have you guys been about money anyways? Was that why you're in the game? What about the tradition of the sport? Think of the greats who have gone before you.
He points up, angle at the rafters. In the custom of retiring uniforms, athletic supporters are suspended from the ceiling. Camera pans along.
O'Connell, Strudevant, Paymer, Epstein, the Flying Hebrew, and of course, Malcolm X, Abraham Lincoln, Luther King Jr.
Camera settles on the jock labeled King with a nutsack at the size of a grocery bag. Angle on Harry Carey leans too far out the window. Why? He falls into the crowds below. Fans catch him, start passing him over their heads. Resume Coop.
Look, I don't want to own this team for my own game. If we win the Super Cup, I promise each of you will become a percentage owners. We'll share everything.
In the background, Harry Carey is now being bounced above the heads of the crowd like a beach ball. 2 ushers are trying unsuccessfully to retrieve him.
That means prime equity stock options, comprehensive health care, full dental, traveling HMO, and the first 20 weeks of psychiatric care free of charge, the way it should be.
Are you saying we can pick our own doctor?
Of course you can. Now, who's with me?
The guys cheers. They mob Coop.
Doctors must be chosen for list of qualified participants. Standard direct supply. Pre-existing conditions are excluded. Illnesses and injuries are covered in the first 18 months. See your physician for further restrictions.
That was Perfect. Angle the ushers. Grab Harry Carey from a fan, haul him up to the aisle under a barrage of boos from the crowd. Music up, begin montage. A train steaming through the countryside. City signs supered over intercut with the beers playing such teams as New Jersey Informants and San Francisco Ferries. The train steams into San Antone. The beers play in the arena that has a basket attached to the side of the Alamo. Amazing. Now, silly stock footage of a train crashing to another train, falling off a bridge, etc. Back to the games. The heavily bandaged beers are still able to make their shots. Montage ends with our guys, Mended, making shot after shot. Scoreboard struggles to keep up with the points. They're racking up. Finally, exhausted, it just starts to smoke. Interior Kane's office night. Kane and Yvette watching the big screen TV. ESPN is on. Turn it off, Travis.
But it's not on.
And the Bears win with their 9th consecutive game. They keep playing like this, they are playoff bound for sure.
Damn, we're running out of time. I already have Jacksonville lined up to take the Bears off your hands as soon as the team's yours. How do we get to this guy?
Sorry. On the TV, Coop and Remer face the stands, jostle with each other to be the first to receive a congratulatory hug from Jenna. Kane mutes the TV.
Who's this bimbo Coop and Remer are fighting over?
Yvette looks up from buffing her nails, sees Coop and Remer on the TV shaking hands with the beer barrel mascot.
I don't know. It's hard to see through that barrel.
No, her. Who is she?
Oh, that's Jenna Reed. She's the director of some kids' charity, Dream Come True Foundation.
This sparks Kane's interest.
You know, I believe Acting Commissioner Earwig is on the board of that organization. I think it's time I have another little chat.
Interior Beers Garden night. The vendor makes his way down the crowded aisles.
Hey, get your basketball souvenirs here. Hey, get your beers, player posters here.
Attached to his tray are unfurled posters of the three guys labeled Coop, Remer, Squeak. Unfortunately, due to his height, only the top of Squeak's head is visible in the shot. Oh.
Milwaukee 7, Los Angeles 4. And this crowd is going absolutely wild. The Bears are 2 outs away from clinching a spot in the playoffs.
Bears dugout. Coop and the guys watch as the burly LA Riots player heads up for the triple line.
That's him, Squeak. That's Tuttle.
Been talking shit about you all night.
You want me to psych him out?
Yeah, they'll never expect it from you.
Here, say this.
Whispers into Squeak's ear.
I can't remember all that.
I'll write it down for you.
Takes out a pen, begins writing on Squeak's palm. Squeak looks at Tuttle, unsure.
Don't worry. We got your back.
Coop and Squeak trot into the field, set up under the basket.
Bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, 1 out. Tuttle steps to the triple line.
Angle in the field, Tuttle measures his shot. Squeak reads from his palm.
Hey, Tuttle.
Gives a look at Coop, who nods encouragement.
Your mother's deaf.
Tuttle shoots him a look.
My mother's dead, you little twerp.
Oh, maybe that's why she didn't move around a lot.
Tuttle glares at him for a beat. He takes a shot.
It's up. No good. Coop goes for the rebound.
Coop makes a spectacular leap, tips the ball back up.
Coop tips. Good. Double play. Unbelievable. Final score 7-3. The Bears have clinched a spot in the playoffs on a psych out by Squeak Scully.
Fans go crazy. The rock band strikes up We Are the Champions, and Bears explode out of the dugout. Angle on Coop and Remer high five as the scoreboard flashes psych out, psych out, psych out. Squeak spies Tuttle, turning slowly to glare at him. He races over, puts himself behind Coop and Remer.
Jeez, he is pissed. I didn't go over the line on that, did I?
Coop and Remer glance over at the fuming Tuttle.
No, not at all.
They spot Jenna at the same time.
Jenna!
Hey, Jenna!
They hurry off. Squeak turns, runs right into Tuttle, who glowers at him maniacally. Squeak gulps. Angle on the stance. Coop and Remer arrive simultaneously. Reese 3 rows up, and Jenna embraced Jenna excitedly, effectively sandwich her in between them.
Can you believe it? We did it.
Kicking ass and taking names.
Jenna looks at them both, tries to smile, instead breaks down into tears. In the background, Squeak dashes by, pursued by Tuttle.
Let it flow, baby. We're in the playoffs.
No, that's not the reason.
Background, Tuttle comes back in frame, pummeling Squeak, choking him, flinging him around like a rag doll. Dummy.
Yeah, let those tears come.
No, that's not why
I think we're all a little guilty of keeping it inside.
Will you stop it?
She slaps them both, a la the Three Stooges.
I'm not crying because I'm happy.
The guys are immediately sobered. In the background, Tuttle and his teammates are playing Fling the Midget with Squeak.
Our funding's been cut. We're going to have to close the foundation. In 10 days, they're going to repossess the respirators. They've already taken the tongue depressors.
Those bastards.
Jenna's again racked by sobs. She runs away. The guys start to follow, but they're stopped by Kane, who puts his arms over their shoulders, walks them in the opposite direction.
Mr. Kane, what are you doing here?
I jet here, I jet there. It's all part of my job as a multimillionaire.
In the background, Tuttle and his teammates have now tied ropes to Squeak's limbs. They are stretching him out, a la William Wallace and Braveheart. Though this is agony, Squeak's bellowing, "Freedom!"
Gentlemen, I'll get right to the point. There's no reason why your girlfriend's foundation has to go chapter 11, or for that matter, 12, 13, or 14. I think I may have the solution to her problem.
It's Coop a magazine. Coop studies it.
It's a time-tested moneymaker. Every athlete does it. And you are the most popular sports star in our target demographic.
You want me to get bigger titties?
No!
Yes. He quickly turns the page.
Oh. This would be against the basketball bylaws.
Not if the proceeds go to charity. Think of it. Miss Reed's foundation would never have to worry about funding again.
Awesome, dude. We'll do it.
Excuse us for a moment.
He pulls Remer aside. In the background, Tuttle shoves Squeak up through the basket, wedging him tightly in the rim. Squeak hangs there like a dolphin in a tuna net.
Are you out of whatever mind you have left? There's no way we're making any kind of deal with this crook.
Fine, dude. You want to be the one to tell Jenna we have this chance and turned it down?
They stare at each other. Flashy techno music up. Tight angle, a lone spotlight shines on a guy in a tuxedo. It's George Hamilton!
And
Or
now,
Graham.
deftly touching upon the soaring popularity of basketball, Isaac Mizrahi introduces his most fabulous creation for the millennium, Coopware 2000.
He waves towards a small runway stage, and we are interior hotel conference room day. The room erupts into applause. Beautiful people wearing sunglasses and drinking champagne and wine coolers. Techno music throws beneath dramatic lighting. Photographers snap away.
The top of the Coopware 2000 line, the very latest in leisure and comfort, modeled by basketball star Squeak Scolari.
Squeak struts down the runway wearing a brightly colored double-breasted satin swimsuit.
Factory treated with sweat guard, this tasty three-piece jogging/business suit is perfect for the boardroom or the boardwalk. Velcro tabs pull away to reveal
Squeak tears the pants off, revealing floppy calf-length shorts underneath. Sexy.
Are they shorts or are they pants? That's the delicious mystery of the Coopware 2000 bell-bottom satin jogging shorts. Stain resistance in vivid beer's colors.
At the end of the runway, Isaac Mizrahi is motioning, smile, smile, smile. Squeak forces one, does a sachet turn, and then starts back up the runway.
Next, from the Sasquatch collection of Coopware 2000, comes wonderful leather and tan number modeled by Coop himself.
Coop comes out wearing fur pants. From inside his small gaucho jacket, tufts of fur stick out like rampant chest hair. Squeak passes him and whispers,
Dude, it's George freaking Hamilton.
Of course, both pants and jacket are completely reversible.
Coop reverses it, revealing just a different color of fur.
And keeping pace with the ever-changing trends in sports apparel, Doug Remer models the Coopware 2000 basketball uniform of the future, featuring Hydro cross trainers.
Remer steps out, immediately begins pumping up his sneakers. The soles keep getting taller and taller.
With Hydros on your feet, you're ready for any sport at any height.
Shoes now impossibly high, Remer somehow manages to walk down the runway on these contraptions.
The Coopware 2000 is the first athletic uniform constructed entirely of alcohol suppressant patch material. And in keeping with the needs of today's athletes, this yummy confection comes pre-accessorized with jewelry already attached.
Sure enough, Remer's jersey has a gold jewelry sewn into it. As he poses primps, we see a large cross dangling from his ear.
But what player worth his exorbitant salary doesn't enjoy an evening on the town? With a quick inside-out move and a flip of a switch.
Remer quickly reverses the jersey in the crowd. Gasps.
It's party time.
Tiny lights along the seams blink on. Remer strikes a classic disco pose as the chase lights twinkle. Crowd applauds. The photographer starts snapping away. Remer, blinded by the barrage of flash bulbs and all but crippled by the shoes, pitches off the runway, takes out Mizrahi's table, landing in the lap of the designer, who is instantly smitten. Aww, interior ESPN Sports Center Studio Day. A monitor shows a cover of Sports Illustrated. Coopware 2000 edition, graced by gorgeous models wearing the fur pants and bubble wrap jogging suits.
But certainly, Reese, no one could have predicted how amazingly popular this line of clothing has become.
Phenomenal, Dan.
Camera winds to reveal that beneath the table, they're both wearing fur pants.
And it seems to have gone hand in hand with the incredible success of the Bears thus far in the playoffs.
And with last week's victory over Boston, next week they'll have to beat Indianapolis to advance to Charlotte, an effort to reach their magic number to 3.
Exactly. And if Dallas wins their division, Detroit is out of it, right?
They consult an easel with a massive display of basketball playoff chart.
Well, only if Seattle's eliminated. If Denver beats Atlanta by more than 4 points, Pittsburgh gets home field advantage, and Cleveland becomes the division champ without ever having to play a game.
And don't count Detroit out of it.
They haven't won a game all season.
They still have a shot at the wild card spot.
Doesn't that mean they'll have to play Tampa on the road?
Reese shakes his head.
Only if Tampa can beat Milwaukee in the first round.
But Milwaukee has a bye.
Yes, but during the regular season, Pittsburgh had a better record in interleague play.
But only in their own division. And since LA is ahead in all important loss column, that put them a half game ahead of St. Louis if St. Louis were in the playoffs.
Right. Wait a minute. In that case, they'll be playing themselves.
Who?
Montage of headlines, a newspaper with the banner. Bears advance to 10th round. As we read it, a pair of hands wrap the paper around fish. Lying the bottom of the bird cages in the newspaper with the headline Bears top seed in the Midwest Finals. A puppy squats peeing on a newspaper in the headline Bears cinch lower Western Conference. A homeless guy sleeps on a park bench draped in a newspaper with a banner Bears win Central Division Finals. A magazine with a picture of Jenna and the kids on the front dressed in Coopware smiling with the words, "Oh, financial problem solved, dream come true, foundation miraculously solved." It's rolled up and used to spot a fly. Beneath the bush, we see a pair of legs, pants around the ankles, lying nearby on the paper of the headlines Beers, one game away from the Super Cup. The hand reaches out, tears off the front page, disappears back into the bush. Interior Beers Garden Night, and exhausted Al Michaels and Bob Costas, ties at half-mast, bags under their eyes, stubble on their chins, mounds of styrofoam coffee cups piled around them. In the background, loads of hand washables are drying on a line. Costas grips the mic, stares into the camera.
We're back at the Central Southwest Eastern Division. Help me out here, Al.
Oh, Dad, don't touch me there. Regional Conference League Finals, and the Beers down to their last 3 outs.
Angle on the field. Remer is at the double line. He shoots and misses and turns from the line, leans on the wheeled walker and rolls away.
One away, Milwaukee in a must-win situation tonight.
They're all must-win situations.
Against the Detroit Lemons. Score is tied here in the 9th.
2 Detroit Lemons players sit up under the blanket. Hernandez stumbles out of the dugout. Sleepwalks onto the field.
It's a misting fan, because it's hot as shit. Here's proud Papa Miguel Hernandez heading for the single line. His son, born at the beginning of the season, is riding a bicycle now and can already give his dad the finger.
Hernandez throws up a shot. The crowd groans.
No good. 2 down. Coop coming up to the plate.
Angle in the Beers dugout. The players barely able to hold their heads up. Squeak dozes on the bench, clutching a teddy bear, drooling. Coop's tongue is lolling. Lasorda, hooked to a Starbucks IV, nudges him. Coop startles awake.
Oh, Daddy, don't touch me there.
Lasorda is taken aback. Tommy? Tommy,
You're up, Coop.
Who are we playing?
Doesn't matter. I'm out of Slim Fast.
Coop drags himself to the ball rack, fishes out a lazy boy. Angle on announcer's booth.
No, if the Beers win this one, they're in the Super Cup, and the 2 weeks from tonight, they'll go head-to-head with their arch rivals, the Dallas Felons.
Of course, you can stay tuned to this network for all the Super Cup coverage. Help us. Pre-game starts the week before and continues 24 hours a day right up until game time on 7:30 Sunday night.
And don't forget the pre-game show, which I guess is already started.
Angle on Jenna and the Foundation kids cheering, all wearing Coopwear 2000 baseball caps. Angle on Lasorda, completely fried, holds up the playbook. The team gathers around. Coop's on the outside of the group.
Gotta get my shit together. Hey, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. First, Coop hits triple. Then Squeak, you follow with single. Hernandez can bunt you home if he wakes up.
Coop turns, stumbles onto the field, stepping over the line of unconscious Hernandez on his way to the home run line.
Remember, double, and then Coop will double, and Squeak will double. Then we'll have 6 points. And what time is it?
In the background, Coop shoots nothing but net. The crowd explodes into cheers and applause, and the team rushes by Lasorda.
What the hell happened?
Coop hit a home run. We won.
Lasorda follows the team out of the dugout, still in a fog, bouncing up and down haphazardly. Angle in the crowd, going bananas as Coop is taken across the plate on a stretcher. Angle, the announcer's booth.
Beers win! Beers win! Beers win! Beers! I'm tired.
Al's face hits the table. Good night, everyone. Interior Beers locker room night. Coop and Remer finish getting dressed. Coop's eyes a small velvet box in Remer's gym bag. He looks over at the identical box in his own locker. Tommy Lasorda approaches. Coop pops open his box, shows him a diamond ring.
What do you think, Tommy?
I'm flattered, but I'm already with someone.
No, it's for Jenna. It's a commitment ring.
What?
I'm letting her know I'm ready to consider thinking about becoming engaged.
Remer snorts, opens his little box. Inside is a smaller ring.
I'm giving Jenna a pre-commitment ring. It's a promise to pledge we'll get engaged when we're ready to make a commitment.
Yeah, well, I've already given her a pre-obligation bracelet.
So, I've made an oath to agree to swear due diligence in anticipation of a consideration.
With or without prenups.
Doesn't matter. I've got a post-coital handbag on layaway.
Lasorda's head is spinning.
You guys need a hobby?
He exit. Coop and Remer go back to dressing. Suddenly, a manila envelope hits the bitch between them.
I was hoping I might find you here.
The guys look up to see Kane smiling at them. Coop picks up the envelope.
What's this?
I think it's an envelope.
I know that, Remer.
Open it.
Coop opens the envelope. Inside is a bunch of 8x10s. Coop leaps through them.
What's that old saying?
A penny saved is a penny earned. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't.
Shut up. How about one picture's worth 1,000 words?
Yeah, that's a good one.
He looks over Coop's shoulder. And, oh, this is still me, sorry. And it goes on pictures. 14-year-old kids working a tennis shoe assembly line.
Oh my God, these are awful. What kind of low-life scum of the earth would use children this way?
You would.
Me? Never.
Allie Struthers know about this.
Coop, those pictures are of your clothing line being made in Calcutta.
Coop is confused.
Calcutta? That can't be.
The labels say they're made here.
Coop pulls a Coopwear 2000 shirt from his bag, shows the label to Kane, angle in the shirt label. Sure enough, it says, made here.
See?
Kane gives him a look. Get real.
You didn't.
Oldest trick in the book. Of course, if these ever got out, you'd look like the biggest hypocrite in the world. They could ruin you, Coop.
I'm not worried about that. I don't care about me.
Well, that makes two of us. But maybe you should care about the woman you love.
I love her too.
Who will probably be surprised to find you both have such an interest in children.
Yay!
My sentiments exactly. But I assure you there's no reason to panic. These pictures never have to see the light of day
If what?
If you miss the next Beers game.
The next game is the Super Cup.
I see you've been reading the papers. Look, Coop, just do what I say. You play ball and you'll be fine.
I thought you just said you didn't want me to play ball.
I want you to play ball with us.
You want him to play for Dallas?
Kane holds his temples.
Oh, I get it. I don't think he wants to show up at the game at all.
Of course, you numbskull. It's called blackmail.
Coop draws himself up to the full height, fire in his eyes.
You think you've beaten us, don't you?
Kane smiles and nods.
Mm-hmm.
He exits. Coop and Remer look at each other, realize Kane has beaten them. Boing!
God damn it, Remer. I told you this was going to happen, didn't I?
Dude, how is this my fault?
You talked me into it.
Hey, if you would have agreed to Kane's changes in the first place, it never would have got this far.
Yeah, well, at least Jenna never has to find out about this.
Yeah.
The door suddenly bangs open. Jenna strides in, brandishing a manila envelope, which she throws on top of the other one.
How could you guys do this?
Jenna, wait, I can explain.
It was him.
Coop glares at him, turns back to Jenna.
Jenna, I know this looks
I
bad.
tried to talk him out of it.
What?
It's too late, Coop. I'm finished. I've handed in my resignation.
She turns to go. Coop follows her.
Jenna, I'm sorry.
I don't ever want to see you again.
Hey, what about me?
She storms out. A beat. Coop turns back, puts his arm around Remer's shoulders, barely able to contain his rage.
You know, pig fucker. Can I call you pig fucker?
Sure.
Meh.
Yeah, okay. If your head was any further up your ass, you could wear yourself as a hat.
You think I could? Ow! Ow! Ow!
Coop has grabbed Remer's head and hooked his fingers in Remer's nose. He's yanking pretty hard.
Dude, man, you are one short hop away from being rabbit punched to death.
Oh yeah? Go ahead. Try it. Just try it. I'll.
Remer throws a quick jab. Coop's head snaps back. He looks surprised for a beat. Then
That was a rabbit punch, you moron.
Well, what was it then?
That was a jab.
throws a quick punch. Remer's head snaps back.
That was a rabbit punch.
They square up. This is amazing. Through a series of slow-mo dissolves, then we see a surreal fight. Coop throws a series of roundhouse punches into Remer's ribcage, lifting Remer off of his feet with each blow. Now he has Remer up against the lockers, pummeling him while Remer tries to cover his head. The punches come slower and slower. Coop loses his arm strength. Think of Ali, the rope-a-dope scenario. Finally, Coop's tired arms hanging to the sides. Remer winds up, delivers a blow to the staggers Coop. He wobbles around the circle before crashing to the ground, dissolved to same scene. Night. Coop still unconscious, lying on the floor. Hand comes into frame, starts briskly slapping his face.
Kid, wake up.
Coop slowly opens his eyes. Engelon, Coop's POV, the image of Tommy Lasorda swims into view. Engelon, Coop, groggy.
Coach?
Lasorda still slapping him.
Coach, you stop slapping me. I'm awake now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He helps Coop sit up.
Your mess, kid. What happened? She ain't like the ring, huh? It was kind of puny.
Oh, it's not that. My life's over, Coach. Lost my best friend, lost my girl, and this morning I couldn't find that checkered scarf I like so much.
Come on, it can't be that bad.
He hands Lasorda the sweatshop photos.
Jesus. Does Sally Struthers know about this?
Coop's head is in his hands.
What am I going to do, Coach? I don't know what to do.
Inspirational music creeps in.
You know, kid, back in the 77 World Series, my team was down and out, just like you. They were scared the Yankees were going to beat them. New York just looked invincible. So I gathered around the clubhouse and I told them, guys, you got to believe in yourselves. You're a great team. You can win. Heading over to the last pop fly is caught. To the chalk on the base paths has been totally obliterated. Like I told you 1,000 times, it ain't over till the sprinklers come on.
So what happened?
In the sixth game, Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs, buried us. We never recovered.
You're right, Coach. Kane hasn't beaten me. I still have a couple home runs left in me, a tip in or two. Still some leather on my ball. I can turn this around before the last psych out is hung on the board.
What?
Coop grabs his hand in both of his and shakes it vigorously.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
What the hell? That's the spirit, kid.
Coop exits. Lasorda shakes his head, punches out on a time clock. Exterior Calcutta Airport runway day. Stock footage of an Air India jet touching down. Exterior Calcutta Airport day. Coop hails a taxi and jumps inside. Interior taxi day. Coop takes a slip of paper out of his pocket.
Driver, I'm in a hurry. Take me immediately to where they're using child labor.
The driver turns around. It's a 9-year-old kid beneath that turban. Coop's appalled.
Aw.
As you wish, Sahib.
Well, just get me to 7-Eleven Marrakesh Drive.
Exterior Calcutta day. The taxi pulls up in front of a factory. A big sign reads, M. Gandhi and Sons Industries, exclusive manufacturers of Cooper 2000 and Snoop Dogg things. Interior factory office day. Coop enters his path, blocked by the swarthy factory manager in a turban.
Now, who the hell are you?
I'm the factory manager. Who are you?
I'm Joe Cooper. I'm Joe Cooper.
Coop pushes past him towards a large factory door. The factory manager reaches into a box labeled hard hats.
Wait! You must put on a hard hat before entering the work area.
To your main factory day, Coop bursts through the door. He's wearing a yellow plastic turban hard hat Everywhere are signs reading Coop sneakers, Coop jackets, Coop caps, a division of Coop Wear 2000. Tight angle on Coop's face as he surveys crew, aghast. Angle on Coop's POV, all his eyes dart around the room. We see 12-year-olds in turbans carrying a steel I-beam, 9-year-olds in turbans scribbling with markers on Coop sneakers, a 10-year-old floor manager wearing a turban that looks over their shoulder.
That's not how you spell Coop! You're fired!
5-year-old wearing a turban is arc welding. A 4-year-old wearing a turban is taking a red hot ingots out of a fiery furnace. 2-year-olds wearing turbans on the conveyor belts going round and round. One tumbles off into a carton of shoes.
Break time!
Several adult witnesses open their uniforms, revealing nursing bras, and begin breastfeeding the turban baby workers. One Coop paralyzed by the horror he's witnessing.
It's not as bad as it looks, Mr. Cooper. I assure you, everyone's well paid. 11 cents a day.
Coop's head sinks into his hands.
Oh my God, this has to stop immediately.
But Mr. Cooper, where do they go? Cathy Lee, she only pays $6.
Off Coop's we cut to news file footage of a Bears game. Coop shooting a double, trading cheerful banter with his teammates.
A young man, his whole life in front of him, disappears. A familiar story, yes, but this is no ordinary joke.
The picture freezes on Coop's smiling face, and the logo for Unsolved Mysteries appears over interior office day, crowded with busy desks. Robert Stack steps into the frame.
Joseph R. Cooper, perhaps the most loved sports figure in the country, vanished.
Exterior suburban street night. Robert Stack walks along, dressed in an overcoat and a hat. Fog inexplicably walks past him.
According to Mrs. Elsie Melcher, a neighbor who asked not to be identified, Joe Cooper left his house 2 weeks ago with only a toothbrush, a wallet, a steamer trunk, 3 carry-on garment bags, and $10,000 he withdrew from his bank. Police theorized several possible scenarios of what happened to the man affectionately known to the world as Coop.
Talking head interview, Doug Remer.
I don't know where the hell he is. For all I care, he'd be hanging by his neck in his freaking closet.
Oh. England Robert Stack.
Scenario number 1, he's hanging by his neck in his friggin' closet.
Reenactment. Closet opens to reveal a body hanging from a clothes bar. Angle on Robert Stack.
Scenario number 2, a love triangle gone horribly wrong led to Coop's disappearance.
Reenact with A-list actors. Been waiting for this. Sally Field throws a manila envelope on the bench. I never want to see you again, Coop. She turns and storms out.
Jenna, wait, I can explain.
Widen to reveal, Marlon Brando starts after her and stops and turns back.
You know, Pigfucker, may I call you Pigfucker?
Puts his arms around.
Yeah, sure, Coop.
If your head was any further up your ass, you could wear yourself as a hat.
Hooks his fingers in De Niro's pose, yanks hard. De Niro screams. Talking head interview, Jenna Reed.
If you're looking for Mr. Cooper, I suggest you go wherever you find the most heinous, blatant, and vile exploitation of children on the planet.
Angle on Robert Stack.
Scenario number 3, Coop went to Disney World.
Excuse me. Belching reenactment. Beavis and Butthead stand amid the splendor that is the Magic Kingdom.
I'm ready for love. Come to Coop, baby.
Angle on Robert Stack.
Here is a photograph of Joe Cooper taken just days before his disappearance.
It's like insert photo of Coop.
And here is the computer-enhanced simulation of what he might look like today.
Insert same photo of Coop.
Police are hoping someone out there may have seen something. If you or anyone you know have information concerning Joseph R. Cooper, call our toll-free hotline. Until then, the Milwaukee Bears and the world will just have to wait.
Show ends. Logo comes on. Then a bumper. Update. Robert Stack appears.
We still have no friggin' clue where the hell this guy could be.
Exterior Beers Garden evening lit up like an oil refinery. Multitudes of fans streaming in. Big marquee sign reads, "Welcome, Dallas Felons." Interior Beers Garden evening. The crowd is already pumped up.
Welcome to Super Cup Sunday.
Television feed, historic Clash of the Gladiators music, constant crowd roar against the background of the packed stands. Graphic titles, Super Cup 5.
Where the defending champions, Dallas Felons, meet their perennial challengers, the Milwaukee Bears.
Angle-on announcers standing on a platform position just above the lower deck of the crowd. Al Michaels and Bob Costas are backgrounded by the enthusiastic crowd, and they raise their voices over the noise.
Hi, I'm Al Michaels. Welcome to the Beers Garden and Super Cup V. And we're in for a classic battle tonight.
But the big surprise, the big story driving the entire 2 weeks of pregame hype is the disappearance of Beers star Coop Cooper.
That's right, Bob. And tonight we've got over 100 million people throughout the world tuned in to see this game.
Angle on press table, a mishmash of glazed over foreign correspondents.
Many of them, of course, with no understanding of the sport itself, but nonetheless fascinated by the flickering images and the bright, pretty colors.
Angle on fireworks staging area, a guy with an eye patch missing several fingers is setting up a pyrotechnics display.
And speaking of colors, that man, of course, pyrotechnic expert Sergorio Faroche, readying another spectacular post-game fireworks display.
Wide shot the large crowd as following sponsors are announced, their logo spins into the center of the room, supered over the crowd.
This segment of Super Cup V is brought to you by Winter's Morn, the douche and mouthwash in one. She'll like the tingly feeling and he'll like the clean, fresh taste. The Sosume Kamikaze. The excitement starts when you hit up the corners. Ooh, and Seagram's. Proud to not advertise their full line of delicious alcoholic beverages on television.
Rush out and get your Winter's Wear now. Camera sweeps to the crowd.
And a capacity crowd here tonight at the Beers Garden. Some of our very special guests tonight.
England's spacious field box, red, white, and blue bunting, surrounded by Secret Service.
The President of the United States and the First Family here to enjoy an evening of basketball action and maybe also some of that tingly feeling later, I'm assuming, Al.
Gee, it's really him.
And the Vice President is also here with his family.
Yep, it's them.
And those fucking assholes, the Supreme Court as well.
Fuck yup.
Right on. Sure enough, it's those 7 assholes in black robes from the Supreme Court. Camera continues past a crowd of Chinese businessmen.
Well, and the White House guests from last weekend, those fucks.
Angle on announcers.
Well, during the pre-opening ceremonies, President Clinton presented BASEketball with the prestigious President's Award. You know, the Celebrity Apprentice trophy from like several seasons ago. Then when it got
on the
canceled.
monitor, we see President Clinton presenting Acting Commissioner Earwig with a plaque.
In honor of basketball's 5th year as the only completely drug-free, my ass, major league sport.
Page 102.
Well, I hit the wrong button. I apologize, and that, of course, is due mainly to the commissioners instituting the strictest drug testing program in history.
Angle on the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineup for the Dallas Felons. At ringer number 43, Dirk Jansen.
Dirk Jansen runs out into the field, steps behind a nurse's screen. Almost immediately, he comes back out holding a urine sample, hands it to the lab technician, who dips a drug alert swatch into the cup. Jansen's clean. Technician gives him a thumbs up. Crowd cheers as Jansen takes his place on the floor.
At Duffer, number 22, Jim Darcy.
Darcy heads for the nurse's screen, angle on field tunnel. The Bears waiting to be introduced. Joey is there in a uniform with ball boy written on back. Up Priest is exiting.
Don't worry, Father. You'll get your money anyway.
He turns to face the team.
Okay, you don't want to pray, no problem. But you guys have to pull it together tonight.
The guys are standing with their backs to each other, nobody looking at anybody else.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your Milwaukee Bears.
Off screen, the crowd cheers wildly.
At Duffer, number 3, Squeak Scolari.
A field coordinator wearing a headset points at the players as they run onto the field.
At Mutt, number 69, Doug Remer.
Woo, coordinator points at Remer, who walks out of the tunnel. Hernandez moves to introduction position.
At Ringer,
Coop suddenly runs past Hernandez and the coordinator races onto the field. Thunderous cheers. Hernandez is relieved. Joey is thrilled.
ladies and gentlemen, the captain of your Milwaukee Bears, Coop Cooper.
Angle on Coop trots towards his teammates as he reaches them. They both turn their backs on him.
And the rest of the Milwaukee Bears basketball team.
Hernandez and Joey jog out of the tunnel. Angle on field, the lights darken. Spotlight sweeps through the stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. The Bears Garden is proud to welcome the godfather of soul, Mr. James Brown.
Oh, fuck, this is going to be great. Huge cheers and applause. James Brown steps up to the mic and backup singers fill the scene behind him.
Ow! Say, can you see? Ow! Wow! By the dawn's early light. Good God, help me! Make so, whoa, what so proudly we hailed. Oh, Papa's got a brand new, Twilight's last gleaming.
Both teams are lined up along the base paths inexplicably as they baseball caps over their hearts.
Drop dead.
Fight me.
Eat me.
All right, let's get him.
Angle on the presidential box. The president and first family have their hands over their hearts, trying to make the best of the situation. Al Gore and his brood are actually trying to sing along to James Brown.
And the rocket's regular. Ow! Wow! Good golly! The old arms bursting in air. Oh! Woo! Got a mighty sing me! Get proof through the night. Yeah! Give me that proof! Give me that proof! That's my flag! Oh, is it still there? Oh. Can I get a witness? Oh. Oh.
James Brown tucks on his crotch, skitters across the stage, and the president all applaud. They're appalled.
Applaud?
Sorry, not applauded. Angle and Premier's dugout. Lasorda addresses the feuding players.
Okay, now that Coop is back, the team, the family is together, and we can win this thing. Can we win it?
I don't know, maybe. Well, whatever. You think?
Angle on the field.
Or the land, have the free! Ow! Ow! Well! Free! Ow! Free! Oh, free! Oh, damn!
Kicks the mic stand, spins around deftly, catches it before it hits the ground.
And the home bride, please, Meryl. The home boys just got to be brave. Woo! Step up to freedom!
Drops to his knees to thunderous applause. The band starts to play him off, and Usher drapes cape around his shoulder and begins to lead him away.
And we're about to get underway here.
James breaks free, races back to the mic after a few more. Please, have mercy as he leads away again.
And we're just about to.
James escapes once more. This time, however, a team of security guards throws a net over him and hustles him away.
Well, now here's the president to throw out the ceremonial first ball.
The president stands at his seat, BASEketball in his hand. He smiles and waves to the crowd.
The Beers Squeak Scolari all set to catch it. What an honor for this young man, who just a year ago fought a courageous battle to overcome gonorrhea.
Sorry, Travis. Clinton mirrors back as he's about to throw. He's distracted by the Beers cheerleaders' exposed thongs. Whoops! Throw goes a little high. Sails over Squeak right into the wheelchair section, and of course finds little Travis beaming hard on the head. Oh, sorry, I can't. Enter your hotel conference room night. Little Travis. A TV is on, but muted. Jenna sits in the back of an audience. The tall woman is handing out books.
Oh, I've never been tall in my life. This is so wonderful. And here are this month's reading selections. We highly recommend these to all of our new members.
Jenna looks down at the books in her lap. What to do when he screws you over. Foolish men, foolish choices. Once a dummy, always a dummy. How to build a redwood deck. Sounds like a book I'd write. All of them. Angle, tall women. Clasp your hands together with delight.
And now, Cathy will recite her most recent poem.
Cathy stands at her seat. Cathy stands at her seat.
He rolled towards me across the floor like a bowling ball thundering down an alley, tattooed, round, and hairless, gathering speed. I stand, rooted like a 9-pin, fully expected to be knocked down.
Jenna looks over at the TV, leans forward to listen. Angle on the TV is 60 minutes expose, the horrible truth about Cooper Factory.
I can hear Mike Wallace's voice in my head. Joe Cooper's factory children, not even old enough for prostitution, working in a sweatshop under appalling conditions. But upon discovering the squalor his employees were forced to endure, Coop personally flew to Calcutta and took it upon himself to turn the factory around.
In an instant, I'm flung to the side, cast headlong into a gutter, spinning, wild spinning, crazy spinning.
Angle on TV footage appears of Coop's now pristine factory. Coop can be seen in the background, visiting with the smiling employees.
His employees now make a decent living wage, enjoy full medical benefits, and in-house child care. Coop even saw to it that they get one day a week for ritual sacrifices.
Jenna is stunned by what she's seen. Mike Wallace appears.
That Coop, terrific human being. If I were a woman, I'd sure like to be his girlfriend.
Angle on Cathy, pouring out her soul.
And as I'm swept into the dark abyss of machinery to be reset, I marvel at my resilience. For next time, I might wobble, but I will not fall.
Some sniffles. The tall woman wipes away a tear.
That was beautiful, Cathy. Now in 10 minutes, Beth will give her talk on how men attempt to manipulate and control us, so let's take a short break.
The women instantly fall into each other's arms, begin making out. Jenna's eyes widen. She starts backing towards the door. Interior beer garden night. Scoreboard reads 6th inning. Beers down by 9. Angle, announcer's booth.
For an indication as to why the Beers, are struggling for runs tonight, let's just take a look at our shot sequence.
Sorry. On the monitor, graphics in the I can't read now. The right hand quarter shot by shot. Coop, Remer, and Squeak missing shot after shot in the rapid succession. Balls goes off the rim. The scoreboard, the top of the backboard. The cheerleaders, fans' heads. Exterior city streets. Evening. A taxi is weaving in and out of traffic. Interior taxi continuous. Jenna cleanses her fist as she listens on the radio.
Scolari steps up to the single line. It's up. No good. And the Beers go down 1, 2, 3 for the 6th time tonight.
Can you go any faster, please?
Sorry, Edgy. Interior Beers Garden night, tight angle on a long column of people. We might think it's the line for the restroom, except for everyone who's wearing vendor trees around their necks. Winder reveal, it's a whole crew of concessionaires lined up in front of the president. Clinton's lap is loaded with food, his mouth full of a burger. At an angle on the field, Felons player Jim Darcy takes a shot.
Darcy up. No good for the 3rd out of the inning.
Joey scampers across the field to retrieve the ball. An air horn sounds.
And that brings up to the 7th inning stretch with Dallas Felons leading the Beers 16-0.
Both teams run off the field, disappear down tunnels. Angle on visiting owner's box. Yvette sits next to Kane, who's holding an unlit cigar in one hand, a cell phone in the other.
We're up 16-0 at the break. Just back the trucks right up to the locker room. We'll sort through the stuff when we get to Jackson.
Interior taxi night.
The grounds crew, of course, gearing up for the traditional Super Cup extravaganza.
Dispatch chatter obscures the radio. Jenna leans forward, her ear pressed against the glass, straining to hear the game.
Could you turn up the game just a little?
Relax, lady. It's only halftime.
Interior Beers Garden night. On the field, lights darken, spotlights sweep the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the National Basketball League is proud to present a celebration of brotherhood featuring the Shorewood High School Marching Band under the direction of Sandy Smith.
Applause! The band marches onto the field, angle POV steady cam, the thick action as the band maneuvers endlessly into its formation.
With choreography by the incomparable Paula Abdul.
Angle on the band, it is formed the word hi.
As you know, in accordance with basketball tradition, our Super Cup extravaganza will feature appearances by the actual players themselves. So please welcome the Beers and Felons as they help perform a salute to our South Sea neighbors. Viva Calypso!
A reggae band kicks in with an upbeat calypso number. A singer with dreadlocks begins a song about trust and brotherhood. Angle on the Dallas Felons come onto the field wearing tight tank tops, island knicker. I forgot about this. And Panama hats. Darcy's carrying around a potted palm tree. Jansen on the other Felons are keeping in time to the music with Caribbean rhythm instruments. Angle, Coop, and Remer enter from the other side of the field wearing puffy, ruffled shirts and turbans covered with tropical fruit. Pained expressions plainly show their embarrassment.
If it weren't enough that we're getting slaughtered 16-0, now we got to do this?
Oh, now you're complaining? If this was a real sport where there was any kind of skill or strategy involved, we'd be in the locker room right now getting a massage and a pep talk.
This is worse than those sheep costumes we had to wear last year for those stupid animals are people too salute.
Well, Squeak's not complaining.
That's because he gets to wear his own clothes.
Squeak is walking beside them dressed as a pineapple. On his feet are banana shoes. Marching band goes by and engulfs him. His costume's knocked around. The face hole spins to the back of his head and he gropes blindly.
I dream recognize.
Even though these two teams are fierce rivals on the field, they realize that in their hearts, all basketball players are brothers.
The Beers and the Felons interweave each other. Coop finds himself next to a Dirk Johnson.
Hey, Cooper, is that a banana on your hat? Or are you just glad to see me?
Piss off, Cabana boy.
In the background, Squeak stumbles around trying to adjust his costume.
Kiss my ass.
Will you douchebag shut up?
Angle on a large seesaw set up in the middle of the field. The players split up, each team going to opposite ends.
Please direct your attention now as our players ascend the Mulalakalaka Balance Board of Trust, as natives have done for thousands of years. The Mulakalaka is the ultimate symbol of brotherhood in many South Sea countries.
Huge applause. One by one, our players take the lighted tiki torches from the grounds crew and mount the steps leading to the balancing seesaw. Both teams step on at the same time.
Never invented this stupid game.
You should have just got off your ass and found a job like I told you to.
Squeak, arms restricted by the pineapple, is trying to maneuver his hands inside his costume.
Hey, these damn tights are riding up real bad. Can one of you guys reach down here and adjust my bunch?
Coop and Remer trying to look at him. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Humanity, compassion, and trust in total balance create the perfect conditions for everlasting brotherhood.
I got a leak.
Piss in the pineapple, mucky boy.
Hey, back off. Your foot's on my flip-flop.
He gives Remer a shove. They start to wrestle Indian style.
Now please follow the example of our basketball brothers, joining hands and singing Michael, Row the Boat Ashore.
Coop and Remer continue to Indian wrestle as the crowd begins to sing. Squeak's at the edge, jerking his body, trying to keep his balance. Remer's torch touches off the back into Squeak's costume. Look out!
Can you guys just for a minute just try to get along?
Coop and Remer stare wide-eyed at the smoke billowing around Squeak.
What?
Terrified, Coop and Remer dive off the seesaw. Angle and the felons crash to the ground. Angle and Squeak sprawling. He's launched into the air, his costume ablaze. Now the crowd erupts into a thunderous applause as the flaming pineapple streaks overhead. Angle and the crowd staring up, the eyes full of wonder following Squeak's flight, the light of the flames reflection on their faces.
Whoa.
Angle in the fireworks staging area. Farouche dives off the platform as the blazing Squeak crashes right into the fireworks shed, and whoa boy. Angle in the dugout, and angry Lasorda holding Coop and Remer by the napes of their necks pitches them onto the bench.
You two ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You've been together too long, worked too hard to throw it all away now. Don't you realize that the future of basketball depends on what happens here today?
Behind Lasorda, fireworks explode above the crowd.
Do you want to go down the same road to all the kind of things that are destroying the other sports? That's what you're protecting here, not just my job.
In the background, more fireworks. Grounds crew races by with buckets of water and fire extinguishers.
So I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and watch a great sport go down the toilet without having me flushed it first.
Angle on announcer's booth, the fireworks reflected on their faces.
Bob, this has got to be the most spectacular extravaganza I've ever seen. I never thought they'd outdo last year's Salute to Handguns.
It certainly is, Al. I just can't understand why they haven't retracted the roof.
Angle on Squeak, pyrotechnics bursting around him, stumbles from the staging area, dazed and smoldering. Angle on the crowd on their feet, applauding wildly. Angle on Squeak starts to bow. Something off screen catches his eye. He turns, quickly dives through a door marked storage. A rampant rocket zips behind him before the door shuts. Angle inside the storage room, darkness. Squeak flips on a light. His eyes widen as he sees bag after 100-pound bag stacked and labeled popcorn. He gives a look to the camera. Uh-oh. Angle on dugout, still trying to get through to the guys.
You've got to find the state of mind that you had back when you started this game. Go back to the past. Way back. What was the one thing that gave you great happiness?
Turning into the magnifying glass.
Watching my sister undress?
Not that far back.
What do you mean? That was just last week.
You knuckleheads!
He slaps them both, a la the Three Stooges. And Angle in the storage room, off screen we hear pop, 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 pop. The door begins to bulge ominously. Angle on Lasorda.
Look, I'll make it simple. You need to go back to when you were just guys, just friends. That's your only chance to win this thing.
Ooh, Coop and Remer look at each other.
Come on now. Shake hands.
Angle in the grandstand. Squeak is spewed down on the aisle atop an avalanche of popcorn. Angle in the dugout.
Remer, I didn't mean all those things I said about you.
I mean, like when you said I was a garbage sniffing, monkey spanking bag of bar?
Well, no, I was actually thinking more when I called you a pig sucking asswipe.
Oh. Dude, it's okay.
They knock fists, embrace. In the background, crowd's crew races past in the opposite direction.
That's the spirit.
Lasorda holds out his hand. The guys pile theirs on top.
Now get out there and win this thing. Can you do it? Can you do it?
Yes.
They race off screen and Lasorda smiles into himself, turns. Suddenly he's floored by Coop and Remer riding back into the dugout on a huge wave of popcorn. Cut to a quick montage. Coop and Remer and Squeak are making out shot after shot. The floor has been plowed, mounds of popcorn drifting along the sidelines. On the scoreboard, we see Beers 16 run deficit quickly disappear. Fans are eating their way out of the mounds of popcorn. Vendors hawk butter and salt, doing brisk business. On defense, we see the Beers talking to the felons, psyching them out, causing them to miss. In the grandstands, fans are lining up cards with peas on them. Interior taxi cab night. Inside the cab, Jenna listens intently on the radio.
An amazing turnaround for the Beers. Bob, in all my years of calling games, I don't think I've ever been this excited.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
The taxi screeches to a stop in front of the Beers garden. Jenna leaps out, runs to the stadium, passing the marquee that reads, "Next week, Pat Boone, Million White People March." Interior Beers garden night. The scoreboard shows 16-15. Squeak and Remer on the base.
Bottom of the ninth, 2-1. Dallas 16, Milwaukee 15. And Coop's coming up.
The crowd's going crazy, stomping their feet, doing the chug.
But remember, there are already 2 outs.
Angle on President Clinton, excitedly waving a foam finger. Angle in the stands, Foundation kids, fingers crossed. Angle in the dugout, Joey polishing up lazy old. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Joey is polishing up old lazy boy. Unnoticed by him, one of the patches is loosening. I'm so sorry. Coop approaches Joey, hands him the shiny ball.
Here you go, Coop. She's all ready for the big shot.
Thanks, Joey. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it.
Coop, remember what you told me? That if you were a good person, luck would find you?
You're right, kid. Thanks.
Coop ruffles Joey's hair, and Lasorda approaches.
You up for this?
I think this old ball still has some magic left in it.
Coop, remember what you told me? The magic isn't in a ball or a bat or some pair of sweat socks you've worn all season. The magic's all around you. It's in the people you call your friends.
Angle on Coop's POV, Remer and Squeak. On base, Squeak is picking his nose. Remer has his hands down his shorts, scratching like a dog. Angle on Coop. Lasorda pats him on the shoulder. He turns, heads into the field.
Coop, 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 Coop.
Make the shot. Make the shot. Make the shot. Make the shot.
Cheerleader stops him as he passes. Coop, remember what you told me. Coop looks at her, nothing registers. It's not enough to just have 36 double Ds. It's knowing how to shake them and being able to lift each one independently of the other. She demonstrates. Coop's eyes widen.
Thank you.
He walks over to the home run line. Angle on announcer's booth.
Well, I would like to learn about that trick anyway, so it all comes down to this. One shot, Coop makes it, the Beers win the cup, and he owns the team.
Or he misses.
Engelon crowd cheering and stomping on their feet. Engelon Dirk Jansen from his place beneath the basket. His eyes riveted on Coop. Engelon Coop toes the home run line, bounces the ball in slow-mo. The ball hits the floor, thundering SFX. Company the bounce. Camera features the loosened patch working itself free. Resume Coop, takes a deep breath, looks up at the basket. Engelon Coop's POV, the rim starts doing a wild, gyrating, shrinking thing. Resume Coop, his eyes are closed. The noise of the crowd fades away, all is silent except for the pounding of Coop's heart. Boom, 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 boom. Suddenly, his heart stops completely. Coop's eyes flies open. He looks down at his chest in horror, quickly gives himself a sharp thump with his fist. The old ticker kicks back on. Engelon Coop's POV, a woman clad in the purest white stand of the bleachers. It's Jenna. A luminescent glow about her. Engelon Coop brightens, looks up at the basket. Engelon Coop's POV, the rim widens a bit. Engelon Coop looks over at Joey, who gives him the thumbs up. The basket widens a bit more. Coop looks over at Remer, who drops his shorts. It totally wounds Coop. Coop grins, looks up at the basket. The rim widens even farther. It's the swimming pool size. He'd have to be blind not to make the shot. The crowd's silent as Coop sets tension in the air. He shoots. As the ball leaves his hand, the worn patch finally pops off. Lazy Boy whips off through the stadium, the escaping air sounding like one long fart. Engelon the crowd, in unison, their heads snap up, then down, then side to side as the ball flies around through the air. Engelon Coop doing a Carlton fist thing, bouncing sideways towards the first, trying his hardest to urge the ball into the basket while the ball whips around through the frame. Engelon Kane, the lazy boy, sips past, tears off his hairpiece. Kane is horrified to see himself in his bald plate on the huge diamond television screen. Engelon, the ball ricochets off the wall, spurts back towards the field. Engelon Coop doing a Dick Weber Buller kind of thing, twisting his hip to urge the ball. And now he tries to Chichi Rodriguez body the English. He tries Chichi Rodriguez body English. The entire Bears team comes in unison out for the dugout. Eyes following the spasmodic ball. The ball smashes in the scoreboard. It shorts out. A few sparks burst forth. A flattened ball plummets downward, lands on the edge of the rim, hangs there, draped on the basket. Engelon, Jenna, in the crowd, eyes riveted, waiting, agonized. Engelon Coop, thrusting its pelvis, and goes into a James Brown wrist flip twist kind of a maneuver. Now he does a wave motion with his arm and moonwalks, and then Engelon the basket. The ball slowly drips through the net, lies on the field, a lifeless heap of leather. Engelon the refs, conferring while everyone waits. Finally, the refs both step back, their arms thrust aside to leave it into the air. Basket is good!
She is gone!
Now the scoreboard explodes into a shower of sparks. Engelon Coop, sparks cascading around him, starts jogging around the bases, pumping his fist a la Kirk Gibson. Engelon the crowd, thunderous applause and cheering, except for those scrambling around to avoid being scorched by the rampant sparks. Engelon Lasorda with Hernandez leaping up and down in joy. Engelon Yvette shocked. She passes out and immediately besieged by a battalion of paramedics. Everyone wants to work on her. Engelon Joey races out, picks up a lifeless lazy boy, hands it to Coop as he rounds second base, falls into step with his hero.
Don't worry, Joey. BASEketball will be back next year. And so will I.
Yes!
Joey drops back and lets Coop continue on his own. In slow-mo, Coop heads for home, cheering. The crowd fades away. Now, once again, we hear opening strains of Aaron Copeland's heroic fanfare for the common man. Coop steps out onto the plate. He is home. He looks up, waiting to shake his hand. Is Kirk Gibson in uniform as their hands clasp. Coop knows it's all been worthwhile. Real time. Coop hands the flattened lazy boy to Gibson.
Here, you keep this.
Thanks, Coop. Of course, it'll never take the place of that home run ball I hit in the series. Sure wish I had that.
Coop gawks at him.
Well, I have to get my trophy now, Kirk, but let's get together for a hot dog sometime.
The Bears team mob Coop, hoist him on their shoulders, carry him off. Angle on the field, huge celebration storm. People parade Coop to the presentation stand where Bryant Gumbel awaits. Oh, Bryant Gumbel. President Clinton to deliver the Super Cup. Jenna pushes her way through the crowd, embraces Coop. Just stay away from Bryant Gumbel, Jenna. He slips to the pre-commitment ring on her finger.
Oh, Coop, it's beautiful.
Bryant Gumbel steps forward.
Coop, on behalf of the National Basketball League, we are proud to present you and your team with this year's Super Cup.
Angle on Diamond Vision screen, Coop appears. He looks around at his teammates, Jenna and Joey. When he speaks, his voice booms through the stadium, echoing out to the whole crowd.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth, with the possible exception of Jim Belushi.
Oh, Jim Belushi. Huge cheers from the crowd. Angle on Coop embraces Jenna. Squeak hugs Heather. He's lifted off his feet by him. Remer's left alone. Something off screen catches his eye. His face lightens up. Yvette leaps into a frame right into his arms. Thunderous applause. Angle and the ladies, Jenna, Yvette, and Heather watching their men with love in their eyes. Angle on the men, Coop, Remer, and Squeak rollerblade around the floor, holding the Super Cup aloft in triumph. Joey's on top of the trophy, his arms raised in victory. The crowd roars. The guys skate under the basket, thump. Joey's head smacks into the backboard, flipping him off the trophy. Angle on Joey, shaking his head, dazed. A figure leans over him. Joey looks up, his eyes widen.
Chelsea?
Sure enough, it's Chelsea Clinton. She cradles his head and Joey snuggles into her warm embrace.
Dreams really do come true.
Angle on Coop, Remer, and Squeak side by side. The guys skate on, drinking in the glory. Basketball and the country will survive. Fade out. The end.
And that is a very, very weird movie. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.